Good morning, everybody. Make sure you guys double tap that screen. Get the likes up right away. How you doing, Skippy? How's the weather where you're from? Let me get this stuff right. Now we're gonna get into everything, man. We got some stuff we're gonna get into. Got some stuff we're gonna get into, man. And everything I say on this stream, I'm gonna preference it now. Everything I say on this stream, I am a comedian that is off my meds. Don't take me seriously. I'm not a serious person. Everything I say is fantasy. Okay. Only big girls or single moms master me on e-dating. Yeah, that's how it be, bro. That's why I don't use that shit, man. All right, bro. We got a lot of stuff we're gonna get into. First of all, hold on. I want to start this stream off by saying again, I'm preferencing again, so everybody knows. Make sure you double tap the screen, like the stream. I am a comedian who is off his meds. You shouldn't believe a word I say, okay? At all. Not at all. I am a fool. We got a lot of stuff we're gonna go over today where that's gonna have to be said. Now, the first thing I want to go over is how watch out, buddy. Zeus, I'm sorry, not right now. Is how Turning Point USA sent me. Mind you, I only contributed after Charlie passed away. I sent a donation in. I got a Turning Point USA 2026 renewal statement. I apparently have a member ID. I didn't know I was a member of nothing. And they want money. It says suggested amounts $30, $50, or $60. And then you can just write the amount enclosed. Due date February 18th, 2026. It says, Dear Sheldon, attached to your 2026 Turning Point USA supporter renewal statement. Please take a moment to detach and fill out your 2026 renewal statement. Place it inside your postage paid return envelope along with Turning Point USA annual donation of 30, 50, or 60 or even more if you're able, in quotations, if you're able. And mail back your 2026 renewal statement and your 2026 contribution back to Turning Point USA's national headquarters in 5 days. If it feels strange writing this letter to you, in parentheses, in the past, this would have came from Charlie, out of parentheses. But I know you share my commitment to ensure Charlie's legacy endures and ensure Turning Point USA's impact only grows stronger in the years ahead under Erica Kirk's leadership. I'm excited to tell you that right now, in this one of the moments when we really need this is one of the moments where we really need you. Over the past few months, Turning Point USA added more than 1,200 chapters to its network of high schools and colleges across America, now totaling 4.4 thousand chapters in all 50 states. This is how we fulfill Charlie's vision to build the most faithful and most patriotic generation in American history. God is on the move across our beloved country, stirring hearts and minds from coast to coast. And it's our job to come alongside these students to equip them with tools, training, and materials they need to help become America's next conservative leaders. That's why I'm counting on your support to continue fueling our fight to defeat the radical left before it's too late. So please detach your 2026 renewal statement and your generous gift of 30, 50, or $60 or whatever you're able to give. This is like bad. Like this is bad, dude. Dude, this is bad. Like they sound so desperate. While you think about how much money you can donate to Turning Point USA for 2026, let me tell you about something that the students who have been signing up by the thousands All over America, you see these young patriots who have asked to start a chapter with us. They weren't recruited. They felt it was their time to stand up in this country to honor Charlie. And now they want me to sit here and read the back. Yeah, I'm done reading this. But this is signed by Justin Strife. And it says at the end, for Charlie. A company that just got hundreds of millions of dollars in donations sends me a 2026 renewal form when I only sent them $25 after Charlie died, and I didn't even get my hat. Didn't even get my hat. They sent me a bracelet instead. So, my message to Turning Point is suck a D. Where's my hat? I want my hat. Let's get this done. Okay? That'd be cool. I would appreciate it very much if I could get my hat. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, like I said, everything I say on this channel right now, at the moment, I'm off my meds, bro. I'm a comedian. Everything I say is false. It's not verifiable. And you shouldn't believe me. Okay? Okay. So, okay. So, apparently, we'll start with this. So TPV Sean on Twitter posts TPUSA insider feared dead after releasing proof Israel killed Charlie Kirk. The whistleblower is who first blew the lid off Turning Point USA's shadowy ties to Israel, and the new CEO Erica Kirk's direct connections to international orphan trafficking networks is missing. She's missing, and she's feared dead. Now I was watching
An
a little bit of this,
investigation is underway. Though,
and again, everything he says, I don't know anything about. I am just a person who is off my meds,
whistle.
and we're gonna listen to it. Everything's alleged, and yeah. So I should have probably just redone my videos this morning because I did videos that I reacted to yesterday, and then I went to go edit them, and I figured out, oh shit, none of them have sound, so that was awesome and discouraging at the same time. But at least I made a new, intro. Well, I edited my current intro, but yeah. So this is where we're going with things. We're gonna play this, and then I got some other news. We're gonna go over. First of all, today, starting the stream right now, we're at 10,467 subs. So appreciate everybody who's subbing up. God bless. So, Thomas Massey explodes on DOJ over Epstein handling, names people he wants prosecuted. Ozark shooting, two sheriff deputies killed, suspect dead. Chilling claims of Epstein's storage unit surface, and then absolutely preposterous Judge Rips to move and disqualify, or Judge Rips move to disqualify Charlie Kirk's prosecution. So, yeah. Hey, honey, hold on 1 second. Hold on. I'm gonna go grab a shirt for my daughter quick. Hold on, let's go grab a shirt quick. Can't have you on camera in no shirt, Uber. Good job. You want to sit in the chair next to me? Let me grab your blanket. Here you go, babies. All right. All right. So everybody who's new coming in, I should have just done videos this morning. It seems like my algorithm is moving to around 10:30 or 11 to 1 is when we get the best views. So, but we'll get it figured out. God bless everybody. Make sure you guys double tap the screen, show some love and support, and yeah, we're just gonna get into it, man.
Whistleblower who first blew the lid off Turning Point USA's shadowy ties to Israel, and new CEO Erica Kirk's direct connections to international orphan trafficking networks, is missing, feared dead. She knew the risks, so she promised to check in every single day. After months of checking in, it's been several days of silence. No contact with family, her new workplace, or friends. Her family is frantic, sounding the alarm. An investigation is underway, but time is bleeding out fast. This isn't a cold case. This is live right now, and every hour counts. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our incredible community, support the channel, and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. According to those on the inside, Turning Point USA is imploding, the paranoia is ramping up, and the body count is rising.
TPUSA is in hot water again, and this time it's because of the alleged death of a whistleblower that the feds are now looking into. And the timing is what makes this so suspicious, because all of this reportedly happened right after the whistleblower publicly accused Erica Kirk of running a scam tied to TPUSA donor funds and merch sales.
We were among the very few independent outlets she trusted enough to hand over her story. A former Turning Point USA insider with raw unfiltered access to the Arizona-based machine.
The audit wasn't some random paperwork thing. Charlie ordered it 2 weeks before he died. Full forensic sweep. Every account, every shell company, every foreign contract.
She laid it all bare. The paranoia choking the ranks. The fear that had taken root at every level of the organization. She knew exactly who she was dealing with. She knew the risks. And she said so plainly. In her own words, if I go quiet, they most likely got to me. She set up a system for a simple daily check-in with a single code word. We can confirm the system hasn't pinged in over a week. She made one thing crystal clear. She was not suicidal.
I am not suicidal. I actually like my coffee too much. My Netflix queue is backed up for months, and I've got plans. Big, boring, normal plans. I'm not the type to check out early. My car is well maintained. Tires rotated, oil changed, brakes solid. No mysterious accidents waiting in the garage. I don't...
Welcome in, everybody. Make sure you guys double tap that screen and get the likes up. Let's try and hit 100 likes within the first hour of the stream. Let's try and get in the algorithm, man. Show some love.
Do drugs. Never have. I don't even own a firearm. Couldn't tell you the difference between a Glock and a garden hose. If they try to sell you some tale about me ending it all with a gun I don't own, or crashing my perfectly tuned Honda into a tree, laugh in their faces. Because that's not me. That's them trying to script the ending.
Her family is in agony, desperately searching, begging for answers. They've asked us to keep our identity shielded, not out of doubt, but to protect the investigation and avoid giving Turning Point USA any edge to sabotage what's coming. They suspect foul play, illegal activity, and they're not alone in that fear. According to the family, the feds are investigating, though they won't confirm squat. And given the nature of their Charlie Kirk investigation, and the lead's agents have been banned from pursuing, serious questions must be asked about their intentions.
We are investigating the recent Charlie Kirk shooting. We are following every lead except the ones my beautiful Israeli wife won't let me.
This follows the brutal purge at Turning Point USA, mass firings, mandatory loyalty tests, and leaked videos that expose the ruthless executive tactics used to crush anybody daring to leak the dirt. Turning Point USA didn't just quietly let leakers go, they unleashed a savage internal witch hunt. Axing staff suspected of spilling secrets about new CEO Erica Kirk, the Charlie murder cover-up, and those deeply disturbing ties to foreign orphanages that set off every alarm bell. The goal was crystal clear. Silence. Total unrelenting silence.
So, I mean,
yeah,
this is crazy.
yeah, I understand where you're coming
No,
from.
and I know you're going to keep saying that I understand. Like, I know that.
No, I know.
And I know there's probably no magic string of words that I could piece together to procure some type of answer. But
Yeah.
I think on a surface level, like, I'm not going to walk out of here until I say my piece. Like, I mean, y'all know this. I just worked a series of 80, 90-hour weeks plus for AmFest.
Yeah, I think
I've
it's
had no direction or explanation since we've come back. Our CEO has been assassinated. I've done nothing but bend over backwards for this organization to the point where I'm wondering if this is a prank.
it's not a prank. I would never do that.
So I'm just trying to understand. And
No, I
At the point where I'm wondering if this is a prank, bro. And what's crazy too is like they're sending out these letters that I read earlier this stream. It's like, I don't know.
understand. It's time to.
so do
it's
I
time
get to have a conversation with Dylan? Do I get to have a conversation with Justin or anybody? Or
Nope.
no? And there's no explanation as to why I'm going to let go.
Right
Despite,
now, right now, we're leaving all.
you know, and you're going to keep saying a different direction. But I'm trying to understand how I've met multiple times with my.
We're going a different direction with the team, and I have to ask you to leave now.
And the real terror began. Turning Point USA
I know they have no heart, Skippy. No heart. We're going a different direction with the team, so I gotta ask you to leave now. Ow, what the fuck? My cat just attacked me. Get out of here. Go on. Go on.
insiders are reporting they're being hounded by private investigators who are showing up at ex-employees' doors,
Yeah.
taking pictures of their homes, showing up at new workplaces, at restaurants where they're trying to enjoy their downtime. No badges, no warrants, just intimidation in broad daylight.
Can I ask you what legal service that is?
This is crazy, dude. They're sending people, private investigators. Yeah.
Why do you like that?
You're a goober.
You like that.
No. You're a goober. Anyways, they're sending private investigators to people's houses, old like the employees that they let go, and they're taking pictures of their houses and their vehicles. Like, holy crap! Like that sounds illegal, doesn't it? But not for Turning Point USA.
Is-
It's a
And who do they represent that would have any interest
I
in?
have no idea.
Okay.
Why are they bleeping out the name of the company that they're with?
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm just a worker ant.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Sounds good.
yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
You should guys
Okay.
double tap
So
that screen
what's
and
up?
get
What's
those
the
likes
deal
up.
here? Are you trying to like come intimidate us or?
No, no, sir.
No.
No.
Not
no,
at all.
sir.
No.
No, not at all. I was just asked to take pictures. That's it.
Okay.
That was it.
You're just asked to come and take pictures of the house that we live at.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
And you
sir.
said your name is.
Yes.
What's your last name?
Uh, I don't give out my last
Yeah,
name.
you don't
I'm
give out your
sorry.
last name. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I have this all documented right now, and
Okay.
I'm gonna report this to the police.
Okay.
I'm gonna get your license plate as well.
As the probe into Charlie's death tightens around the organisation he built with his bare hands, the paranoia is ramping up. Because everything the whistleblower told us in that first fateful meeting has come true. And Turning Point USA are running scared as the public turns against them.
As y'all probably know, TPUSA kicked off its Make Heaven crowd
Yeah, there was a crowd outside this building that was giving the protesting. I don't know exactly what, but they're getting sick of Erica Kirk's stuff. But anyways, whoever was pulling in a Rolls Royce Cullinan, bro. Like seriously, in a Rolls Royce truck.
2026 tour at Harvest Church in Riverside a few weeks ago. Now, this entire tour was supposed to be about honoring Charlie's legacy and ushering in this great Christian revival. But from the very first event, it was clear that people were sick of Erica and her message. People couldn't ignore the irony of Erica standing inside the church talking about faith and revival, while chaos unfolds right outside the church doors.
But here is where it gets darker.
You guys see that Rolls Royce? Look at this. I knew when I seen the headlights what it was. Hold on. That double R right here from California with California plates. I wonder if it's her.
But here is where it gets dark.
So whoever was going to the TPUSA event, and I'm guessing that's Erica Kirk who was pulling in, because who the fuck else would be coming with the Rolls Royce Cullinan? But they're putting that money that they're asking me for to good use. Still can't believe the way they wrote that letter. I could put $2 in there and they'd be happy.
When we come back, the real reason Turning Point USA whistleblowers are being hunted down like prey. Millions of dog owners have been fed the lie that keeping up pain, a renegade holistic food sneaks its ear off with a free video.
Alright, I don't know what's past this part. I watched it up to here. So, 1 second.
Weeks on Earth, he was so paranoid. In Charlie's final weeks on Earth, he was so paranoid about what was happening behind the scenes at Turning Point USA, he ordered a full audit of the organization's books. Except, he died before he got the results back. And with that video of Erica Kirk giggling and celebrating merch sales.
Welcome in everybody that's new to the stream. Quit saying that. My youngest artist is 6'7". It gets so annoying. Say 6'7". You're a goober. Everyone that's coming in that's new, welcome in. Pierre Larson, Chloe. Welcome in, everybody. God bless you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button. We always try and hit 100 likes within the first hour of the stream. We got 45 minutes left, or 35 minutes left. But, you know, I did take a week off of streaming, so it feels like my algorithm's a little messed up. Because usually once I go live at 9:30, I'm into, we're in the algorithm and everything like that. And it feels like my algorithm's kind of shifted now to where after 11 is when my views go up, but we need to change that. Everybody like the video, show some love and support. Again, we're on the road to 20K subs. I appreciate everybody who's in here. I hope you guys are having a good work week. God bless you guys. But yeah, again, like the video, double tap the screen. If double tap doesn't work, hit the 3 dots in the top right corner, hit the like button that way, hit the subscribe button with the notification bell, and join the See Me Now family. God bless you guys.
Just days after Charlie's death now viral, the pressure is mounting.
Turning Point USA, since Charlie was killed, just so you guys know, this is a fact, has made more than $100 million. That is separate from the $40 million they made at Mar-a-Lago the other night. So since Charlie has died, that organization has taken in $140 million.
Yeah, and they're sending me letters like this that are basically begging for pennies. It's crazy.
At the time, TPUSA had apparently sold over $40 million worth of Charlie Kirk
Welcome in, Danielle. God bless.
merch, raking in another $100 million from their fundraising gala at Mar-a-Lago, which cost $10,000 per plate. A lot of people bashed Candace for those comments, but even those people have gone silent now. Because we've all seen how hard Erica has been pushing TPUSA, fundraising, touring, selling merch, and bringing in serious cash. Even her most loyal supporters are starting to wonder how much of this is about faith and how much is about profit. Once people started making those connections, it didn't take long for TPUSA's finances to also come into the spotlight, and the money trail led them down a very dark path. One of the private investigators looking into TPUSA's finances appeared on Candace Owens' podcast after making a disturbing discovery. According to him, Charlie had ordered a full audit.
Yeah, okay, so lights with the way I agree with you 100% when it comes to your second comment. Christianity is building regardless to TPUSA. And yeah, I just feel like TPUSA, the real Christians and people who have actual, I feel like the NPCs are going to be the only ones who support TPUSA anymore because you know, at the end of the day, like, it's too obvious that shit's up, like that stuff's not normal, right? And I feel like the building of Christianity is happening no matter what, mainly because of the way we feel like we're being overcrowded or you know, trying to be replaced by whether it's the Muslim religion or other, you know, other factors. But I truly do believe in Christianity is going to continue to grow and get stronger, and we're going to have a revival, and that's not because of TPUSA. I feel like TPUSA and I feel like Charlie's assassination is what really kickstarted it and put like very much like is what kickstarted it, right? But I feel like now how we see TPUSA is acting and how the Great Awakening is happening with Israel and everything else, I feel like it's just that's what's making us start to come together more, and that's what's making Christianity come back is the fact that we're waking up, not fucking TPUSA. Yeah, don't bite me. But yeah, man. I mean, the letter they sent me, I read it in the beginning of the stream, and it is pitiful. Right? Justin Strife is who signed it, they want me to send it back to. But yeah, 2026 Turning Point USA supporter renewal statement. I never even knew I had a member ID, let alone he's talking. Let alone them they didn't ever even send me my hat. You expect me to send you the recommended $30, $40, or $60? Like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I feel like Christianity is going to come back no matter what because we're waking up to the bull crap in the world, let alone the Epstein files and everything else. Like, we're just so awake at the fact that shit's so messed up. And I feel like, hey, I feel like we're seeing through it more than ever. You know what I mean?
USA's finances just months before he died. Why? He was scared that some members of his team were skimming off TPUSA donations. This investigator found it odd that Charlie died just before this audit was ready, and the new management, also known as Erica Kirk, never made the audit results public. What was even more interesting was that, according to the investigator, somebody at TPUSA failed to file all the proper tax documents for one of its companies, which raised many red flags. And get this, Charlie's suspicions coincided with the time insiders say Erica started taking a more active role in the organization.
I will repeat for clarity.
Kevin, no, okay, so after Charlie Kirk passed away, right? I mean, God, they even want you to give your credit card number on here. That's crazy. After Charlie Kirk passed away, I had donated like $25-$30, and they were supposed to give me a hat. But they ended up just sending me a bracelet, which already pissed me off because I wanted one of those 47 hats. I was going to have it on the set here. What, honey? You want to go in the living room? Sit on the couch? What? Show me. You peed? You gotta go pee? Okay, go pee. Good job, honey. So anyway, I was supposed to get a hat. I was really disappointed I didn't get it. They sent me a bracelet, and so I got something else asking me if I wanted to donate. But this one is even crazier. I mean, this is what it says right here. And you can see right here, it has my member ID, and then it has the recommended amount, right? Let's see if I can get you to see this here. I mean, this is wild to me. I mean, you made hundreds of millions of dollars, and you're still asking for this kind of shit. Now it says recommended amount or whatever. Here, hold on 1 second. Stop moving, camera. Come on. Okay. The recommended amount is right there. it's not focusing, but yeah. So anyway, but it's like there's certain ways they worded things in here, like please, like number 2 right here says, place it in, or detach your 2026 renewal statement, place it inside your postage paid return envelope with your Turning Point USA annual donation of 30, 50, or 60, or even more, and then in quote, in parentheses, if you're able. So, okay, honey, good job. I'm coming. 1 second, guys. I'll let this play though while I go help my daughter. But yeah, it's just wild the way they worded their letter they sent me to want another donation. Like, if you're able, or like just weird shit. Like, who wrote this letter? You know, I'll read more of it when I come back to the mic.
Someone at Turning Point decided not to file 3 of the 4 of their annual financial statements 4 months before Charlie Kirk appointed a new COO, requested a new audit, and was murdered.
But here's the thing. When Charlie died, Erica didn't just inherit his estate, which is worth over $10 million. She also inherited his multiple businesses, the CEO position at TPUSA, which pays around $400,000, and over $10 million more in donations from TPUSA fans. So on paper, there's no real reason to believe Erica would be scamming TPUSA fans or trying to silence protesters. That is, if she truly had nothing to hide. But then came the leaked footage that changed everything. It's not clear how Candace Owens got a hold of that clip, but it exploded when she released it on her platform. Because in it, you can hear Erica giggling and ecstatic about how much money TPUSA was making from merch sales in a company meeting.
I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy.
Now, this meeting was held just a few days after Charlie died, so people expected her to still sound like she was grieving. Instead, she went on and on about how they had just pulled off the biggest event ever and how much their fan base was growing.
The fact that we were able to pull off an event of the century, like it's just insane. We had...
All right, put a 1 in the chat if you guys want me to read the Turning Point USA letter. Well, actually, I'll just do it. Yeah, I'm not donating to them at all, right? I just donated after Charlie passed. Because at this time, I wasn't aware of, like, the conspiracy or you know, I guess it's not conspiracy, but I wasn't aware of the feeling of the lying from Erica and TPUSA at the moment. Like, that came along like a week or 2 after, when things were like, okay, this is getting weird, you know? But I donated at the moment. And I never got my hat though. He sent me a bracelet, like I said prior. That's made me mad. Like, dude, I want my hat. You know, you guys are, it was promised in the fucking thing, and it said it could take up to 8 weeks to arrive, and it took like 2 months for me to get 3 months for me to get my bracelet. Welcome in, guys. Dane. Okay, I see you guys. But anyways, so this is what it says, right? It has the thing up here that you rip off, and it has my member ID, and then it has suggested amounts, 30, 50, or 60. And then you just put your amount and close whatever. It's due February 18th. So it's already, you know. But anyways, so it says, and the way, listen to the way this is written, right? Oh, I think they're 100% scamming people. Well, get your 47 hat if you donate $25 or $30 or higher. And then they send you a fucking bracelet. That's definitely a scam. So anyways, it says, Dear Sheldon, attached is your 2026 Turning Point USA supporter renewal statement. Please take a moment to detach and fill out your 2026 renewal statement. Place inside your postage paid return envelope with your Turning Point USA annual donation of 30, 50, 60, or even more, quote, if you're able. And mail your 2026 renewal statement and your 2026 contribution back to Turning Point USA's national headquarters in the next 5 days. So what they want it quick, right? It feels strange writing this letter to you, quote, in the past it would have been coming from Charlie, unquote, or whatever. But I know you share my commitment to ensure Charlie's legacy endures and ensures Turning Point USA's impact only grows and stronger in the years ahead under Erica Kirk's leadership. I'm excited to tell you that right now is one of those moments where we really need you. Over the past few months, Turning Point USA added more than 1,200 chapters to its network of high schools and colleges across America, now totaling 4.4 thousand chapters in all 50 states. This is how we fulfill Charlie's vision to build the most faithful and most patriotic generation in American history. God is on the move across our beloved country, stirring hearts and minds from coast to coast. It is our job to come alongside these students to equip them with the tools, training, and materials they need to become America's next conservative leaders. This is why I'm counting on your support to continue fueling the fight to defeat the radical left before it's too late. So please detach and return your 2026 renewal statement and your generous gift of 30, 50, or 60, or whatever you're able to give. Like, who wrote this? Like, or whatever you're able to give. I'll put fucking 2 pennies in here. You know what I mean? While you think about how much you can donate to Turning Point USA for 2026, let me tell you something about the students who have been signing up by the thousands all over America. You see, these young patriots were not asked to start a chapter with us. They weren't recruited. They felt it was their time to stand up and to honor Charlie. And the back says, I didn't read this part yet. Page 2. Because of the life Charlie lived, the faith he had, the love he showed God, his family, and others, to the courage he had to speak the truth, and Charlie's vision of a better America for us all, you are a part of that vision. Erica and our whole team at Turning Point USA are honored to have you in this fight with us. And if Charlie saw all these American students rising to become a part of our movement, he would not be surprised. He always believed this day would come. He used to talk about how the momentum was not about to shift. How about young people would soon be fulfilled with courage, and how Turning Point USA chapters would be in every college in America. And now it's happening faster than he could have ever imagined and bigger than anyone thought possible. As you read this, our team is working around the clock to follow up with every chapter request. At the same time, we're building our campus tours, scheduling packed events with top leaders of the conservative movement who champion our message of faith, freedom, and family. That's why your support in 2026 is so important. Not just to honor Charlie's legacy, but to drive his life's work forward. Your gift today will help provide activism, materials, and all new Turning Point USA chapters emerging across the country. Every new chapter receives these activism kits directly from us with everything they need to get started. Items including leadership materials, pocket constitutions, I have one of those, chapter training tools, and American flags and patriotic gear. So I'm counting on you for your 2026 renewal statement. Thank you in advance for continuing to stand with Turning Point USA as we begin 2026. Justin Strife. For Charlie, it says, signed by Justin Strife. And then on the bottom it says P.S. Who writes a P.S. on a donation request, right? But on the right here, P.S. Your continued support means a lot to Erica and everyone else here on our team, and I know Charlie would be inspired by your generosity. As we continue mobilizing students to rise up in massive numbers to stand up for our country values, freedoms, and sovereignty, please continue to stand with us. Simply detach and return your This is like the 10th time they've asked this. Please detach your 2026 renewal statement and your generous renewal gift for send your generous renewal gift to our headquarters. Every dollar will honor Charlie's legacy in the best way we know. By keeping up the fight, thank you and God bless. It's all about Charlie. And you know what it makes me feel like? It makes me feel like Charlie had real faith in God, right? And everyone right now that's controlling TPUSA does not. Like, I feel like they let him build TPUSA because he was honestly genuine. He believed in his word and in his message of God, and he built it up, and I feel like they just took it from him, and now they're using his faith and how he was to make us want to donate, and they don't feel the same way he did. They're not Charlie in any way necessary or any way close. What, honey bunny? Huh? Good job. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like, they used what he built. They're using what he built, and they're using his legacy to ask for money constantly. Yes, Sonny, after I'm done streaming. She's asked me to play 99 Nights with her. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. It's just, please donate because that's what Charlie would want, and it's Charlie's legacy. Or please put in the packet 30, 50, 60, or whatever you can afford, basically. Like, fuck, they'll take 2 pennies if I send it to them, you know? But, like, I just feel like Charlie Kirk built such a good organization off of genuine beliefs and genuine belief of God and faith of God and genuine belief of conversation. And now I feel like that he's gone, and they, you know, they just took it and they're trying to use it. They're trying to act like they have the same faith of they to me, when Charlie was around, it was real. Now to me, it's just fake. You know, I just feel like it's fake. I feel like they're trying to use Charlie Kirk's legacy and his name as a pawn to make you give money, and it's just like it seems evil to me, right? And then now I feel like it's a good time to bring it back to this, right? Hold on one second. I'm gonna go tell my daughter to chill out quick.
Multiple businesses, the CEO position at...
Dude, they asked like 10 times for money. It was crazy, yeah. Are you gonna come sit with Daddy? Here. Come here. I want a kiss. You don't want to sit with me? What? You want mine? But I'm doing stream, honey. Yeah, exactly, Greg. Charlie spoke truth. TPSA toll scam. Evil district. I mean, and let alone the fact that they're just firing people and purging employees, and there's people coming out talking about how bad Erica treats people and all this other stuff. I mean, dude, it just puts a bad taste in my mouth, you know. Yeah, it puts a bad taste in my mouth, and this letter to me is just ingenuine. And yeah, I mean, you know, should have sent me my hat. Bless you, baby. If you guys hear my daughter back there, it's because I kept her home again. Her asthma's been acting up, and she has been on steroids the past few days, and so I just kept her home on her last day of steroids and stuff. So I love it when I get to chill with my baby girl. She's my angel. She's my little twin, aren't you? You my twin? Hold on, you keep it for now. She wants me to play with her. Don't break my phone. Hey, hey, stop it. But yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, I feel like Charlie was... Do you guys get what I mean when I say, like, Charlie really believed in his message, and that's why he built this, and he was genuine, and he was awesome. But I feel like Erica and everybody else are just fake, and they're trying to use Charlie's realness to get money, and it's so obvious.
TPUSA, which pays around $400,000 and over $10 million more in donations from TPUSA fans. So on paper, there's no real reason to believe Erica would be scamming TPUSA fans or trying to silence protesters. That is, if she truly had nothing to hide. But then came the leaked footage that changed everything. It's not clear how Candace Owens got a hold of that clip, but it exploded when she released it on her platform. Because in it, you can hear Erica giggling and ecstatic about how much money TPUSA was making from merch sales in a company meeting.
I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy.
Now, this meeting was held just a few days after Charlie died, so people expected her to still sound like she was grieving. Instead, she went on and on about how they had just pulled off the biggest event ever and how much their fan base...
I appreciate you, Danielle. Yeah, I love my kids. They're my everything, so I'll do whatever it takes to, you know... Shh, hold on, sweetie. Hold on. To have them with me and to, you know, I just enjoy all my time. You know, they're not going to be kids forever, you know.
Was growing.
The fact that we were able to pull off an event of a century, like it's just insane. We had over 275,000 people that attended, and a stadium.
At some point, she even mentions Charlie being dead, as if it were just some fun fact that everyone was supposed to get over. Erica clearly didn't expect that call to ever be recorded, let alone shared on social media, because she didn't even try to put on the grieving widow of a martyr act she uses in her public speaking events.
Anybody who found that surprising should check themselves. This is the same grieving widow who said Charlie's death was tough, but people criticizing Israel is what she can't stand.
Hate is hate. It's evil. Charlie and I have always been very clear on our stance. Israel and Jewish people. It's awful. Awful. Anti-Semitism is what healing factor comes out of hating Jews?
God, I remember watching this and hold on, honey. Yeah, good job. High five. I remember watching this and it was just like, what? Like Israel, Jewish people, and then paused for a minute. It's just like, what?
Jewish people. What healing factor comes out of hating Christians? What healing factor comes out?
Thank you.
Hate in general. Nothing. We've been to Israel twice together. And to be able to walk in the place where our Lord walked and see the Bible come to life in Technicolor. How could you hate that place? How could you hate the Jewish people?
Before his death, Charlie turned down a massive...
I mean, doesn't that put a bad taste in your mouth? Like, oh yeah, you're on a freaking talk show about, and your husband just got assassinated, but you're talking about anti-Semitism and Jewish people and why this is just not okay. No, like, god dang, you know. We got 12 minutes left within the first hour. Everybody double tap your screens, like the stream. We always try and hit 100 likes within the first hour, so show some love and support. Let's go.
Deal with Israel to push their propaganda. He turned it down on multiple occasions, including in the Hamptons just weeks before his death. According to those on the inside, Erica took that deal. Now anybody who exposes the truth is risking their life. We'll keep you up to date with news of the missing whistleblower. We'll release more information when the family allows it. Until then, please pray for her safety. And remember, everything we're dropping here is the kind of material that gets hard drives wiped, servers torched, and people suicided before breakfast. If you're doing your own research and digging into dangerous topics online, you need to be protected. Legacy VPNs? Forget it. Proton is literally funded by the WF and the EU. Let that sink in. Express, Nord, Surfshark, they all keep logs, they all cave to Warren.
I mean, how is Charlie Kirk's channel even doing? Let's look. By the way, if I got any gym bros in here, that are too wussy to drink real energy drinks and just want something that can get them through the workout but doesn't give them jitters, go to w.gg and use code SeeMeNow, all caps, no spaces, for 10% off. They have awesome designs and they have awesome energy drinks, good taste, and the design of the shaker bottles is just awesome. So they're putting new stuff on here daily. So make sure you go check out W Energy, grab yourself something, and yeah, anyways, let's get back to it. Let's see how Charlie Kirk's channel is doing. I mean, he used to get millions of views. I gotta let the dogs in. They're just fucking barking out there. I mean, look, he would always get millions of views. The left lust for violence must be squashed. They're only averaging, like, look, this one has freaking 4.6 thousand views. They're only averaging like 10,000 views, 20. There's a few that go above like 30 or 40, but yeah, everybody's just tuning out. Let's watch this.
The rise of assassination culture, and
I'm gonna go let my dogs in.
We have to do it. We have to address it. So let's get right into it. 368.
I don't know how long I'll be around. Got a lot of people gunning for me, don't I? Huh? But I will not forget them. I'm never going to forget them.
I saw that clip actually not until this morning, Blake. I actually watched it last night, didn't log it, saw it this morning, and it broke my heart, actually. And of course, he was referencing what happened at Mar-a-Lago with the Austin Martin case where he was killed, apparently trying to assassinate the president, ginned up on conspiracy theories, frustration, whatever, locked inside an ideological echo chamber on social media. And That is the third known assassination attempt
darn it, I
against
forgot that my
President
camera
Trump in the
was
last
tracking
2
me.
years. And of course, that strikes the heart of this show, the show that bears the name Charlie Kirk, who we lost to an assassin's bullet in September. And we have a huge problem, and Charlie knew that we had a huge problem. And it only is getting worse by the day. The rhetoric from the left, the dehumanizing rhetoric from the left, is only getting worse, and we're going to explain that in just a second. But I want to play a couple clips here of Charlie himself acknowledging the rise of left-wing political violence in America. This is back in 2020, Charlie raising this issue then, 389.
This is going to get really nasty.
Oh, Kevin, 100%.
Everyone listen to this. I just hope you understand. Think of the nastiest moment in 2016. They are not going to let this guy get reelected without the most brutal, drawn-out fight. We're going to have the tech companies getting involved. Yeah. The media is going to get worse than ever. They're going to be taking down Twitter accounts left and
Dude,
right.
he would have been president, dude, and he would have been an awesome president. I feel like that's why he was taken out, though, because I feel like he would have been the type of president to be, like, not compromised in a way, you know?
Right? They're going to be taking out videos on YouTube. They are going to be coming after us. They're going to be following us in the middle of the night. They're going to be breaking into our houses. You think I'm joking? They are going to be violent. That you will not be able to walk the streets of the MAGA hat without your physical health be put in jeopardy.
That's how they are. I mean, you go, especially when you go through, like New York. You watch how it is going through the streets of New York with hats on, like with MAGA hats, or even just if you're a known conservative, it's dangerous for you.
And I hope it doesn't get that way. I hope that this clip gets unearthed and everything's like wonderful. I hope that the country comes together and we have a beautiful Unitarian healing moment in September.
And that's 2020, Blake. Many years ago. And he saw it then, and then this clip, we have to play. We have it loaded up now. 379.
My fear, Senator, and I hope I'm wrong, and let's say stay in prayer that I'm wrong, that someone is going to get shot the same way that Steve Scalise got shot, and God forbid, killed. The left is creating a pressure cooker with so many of their rank and file paramilitary troops that very well might result in one of us getting shot or killed. God forbid that happens. We're getting death threats every single day here on the Charlie Kirk Show.
Such a haunting clip, Blake.
And there's more like it, I think.
Yeah, that is wild, but that's why you don't put energy like that out there. Like, especially when you're making media. Like, music, media like this, when you put it out there, but you actually put it out into ether in a physical form that people can watch, like, you're putting bad energy out there, dude. Like me when I was when I was making music, when I was fighting for my kids, I was just fighting, yes, good job. I was just talking about how I was gonna get them back. I was never talking negative. I was talking about I was just airing out my feelings, like any musician does. And I go back and listen to it now, and I manifested it all, right? But imagine if I would have just put bad energy out there, you know?
We continue.
Because I can go back in every single one of my songs right now, and I manifested it word by word.
And as we go through the archives more times, Charlie would talk about that, and it always hits me because I remember not taking it as seriously. I would reassure him, Charlie, people don't, for the most part, don't do that. And he was right to worry. I was the idiot. And one reason we're talking about this is not just because of what the president said, but
dude, for you to say the right is doing all that is wild. Mwah. The right is not doing nothing. Okay. There's bad people on both sides, but the right is not the ones that are out here crowding up and attacking people and causing damage to property and all this other stuff. Like, you're just naive to say that, you know?
But there's endless...
there's bad people on both sides. But the one that's really amplifying everything is the left.
Cases of them, of the left deliberately, people who should know better, constantly amping up low-level actors, the mentally imbalanced.
It's called breaking up with your woman and then fighting for custody. That's what it is, Norman. It's none of your business.
The mentally unwell, the people who are they're more likely to get tipped over the edge.
You
And
are.
so I was just absolutely set off yesterday. There was an article in The Atlantic magazine. For those of you who don't read it, The Atlantic is up there with the New York Times as a prestige outlet of what you would call the mainstream left opinion. Getting published there, yeah, it's like being on the front page of the New York Times. It's more prestigious than the Washington Post. It's like the Wall Street Journal. And one of their editors, Tom Nichols, they slid out this article yesterday, and it is "The Republican Party has a Nazi problem." Let's see how many times they use the word Nazi in that article. They use the word Nazi in this article at least 15 times, and it just repeatedly says, the Republicans have a Nazi problem. This means the United States has a Nazi problem. The responsibility for defeating it is, in the 21st century, falls to...
Dude, Norman, how do you even know if I support Trump? Like, you people who come, like, this is why I don't read the chat, and this is the last one I'm talking about. But you people who come in here in the chat and assume a person's beliefs and just think you know everything about the person you're watching really truly shows your character, and it shows how low IQ you are. Okay? I don't support Trump. I don't support the left. I'm independent. And right now I feel like our government is completely just, it needs to be redone. But quit assuming my beliefs, because I'm independent. I'm not left, I'm not right. I just want the world to come together. So shut up, okay? Appreciate it.
To everyone who still believes in the American idea, just repeatedly saying Nazi, 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 Nazi about the right. And as I said,
I'm gonna go grab my daughter some strawberry milk. I'll be right back.
Online last night, it's very clear what's going on here. We had a deranged
I don't know if I said it. I'm gonna go grab a strawberry milk for my daughter. I'll be right back.
leftist who's in court today. We're monitoring that. Tyler Robinson, he murdered Charlie because he was whipped up by this rhetoric of Nazis, this rhetoric of genocide. We've had a gunman shoot up an ICE facility and kill multiple detainees, but he wanted to kill ICE officers. We have these insurgents, essentially, in Minneapolis, constantly getting in the face of ICE agents who end up getting shot themselves, but very well this could end in ICE agents being shot. The entire point is to throw it all into tumult. We have multiple transgender radicals, and of course we've had 3 attempted assassinations of the president that have ended in someone being shot. And I just can't, it feels deliberate to me that when Tom Nichols goes out here and just writes Nazi, 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 it is the line the left used in the past, stochastic terrorism. It is the rhetoric that drives unwell people over the edge so that they're going to go grab a gun and try to shoot someone because they're nuts and they take this stuff literally.
Yeah, well said. And,
Yeah, 100%, Kevin, that's how I feel. I feel like we just need a whole reconstruction of our government. I mean, especially with the Epstein files being released, everybody's implicated. I mean, like I was saying this yesterday, the next 10 years are going to be interesting to see where our country and the people of this world want to go when it comes to this, where things are going to lead to. Because I'm telling you, like in Bulgaria, how they made their government step down, the protests in England when there was like 1 million people outside. Eventually people are gonna, people are gonna gather like that, and then they're gonna want to make a change while they're gathered, if you get what I'm saying. And there's a lot more of them than there's a lot more of us than them. So, see, NMP, stop acting like Nazis, then, bro. See, you're the you're the same person that's causing people to be brainwashed. And why would you call me a Nazi? You don't even know what I believe. Like, see, like, just immature you people are. Completely immature. I mean, seriously. Like, I don't know what, like, I don't know if you got Cheeto fingers while you're typing that, but you need to get a life, bro.
Remember, Tyler
You need to quit using the rhetoric you use, because it's just ridiculous.
Robinson said that some hate you just can't be negotiated out. in reference to Charlie. And, I think we're not done addressing this issue. We're going to continue talking about it in the next segment. And just again, I can't underscore enough how much that clip from President Trump just broke my heart watching it. And I think it's specifically because of our proximity to Charlie that it hit so hard. These days, the online world moves fast. That's why TikTok approached building experience.
Instead, one, in jail for life, and this venom coming from the other side. We don't know whether this person was a mastermind, unhinged, or what, but they are normalizing this violence. It's got to
Well, he
stop.
definitely wasn't a mastermind when he went to Mar-a-Lago with a fucking gas can and a shotgun. Like, what was the gas can for, first of all? And a shotgun? Who are you gonna... Like, what? Such a short-range gun. Why would you even bring that?
That's Scott Besson, and he's absolutely 100% right. He himself has been targeted by political violence. You don't hear as much about it, but I happen to know. I think it's been reported somewhere. But listen, in recent years, political violence has become increasingly normalized, shifting from a fringe extremist kind of movement to mainstream discourse. And you don't have to take my word for it. Just go on TikTok. Just go on TikTok. You'll see videos celebrating the targeting of ICE officers all over the place. You'll see them celebrating going after top Trump administration officials.
Come on. Get out of here.
It's assassination culture, and
Guys,
it
steal my
glorifies
food. Go
targeted
on.
killings as acts of justice against perceived oppressors, which you could just insert MAGA or conservatives. And it's fueled by social media in these echo chambers. Mangione, his 2024 assassination of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, has been celebrated by segments of the far left as heroic resistance. Hashtags like Free Luigi have gained traction with over 50,000 posts, and they call him a hero. The idolization risks massive amounts of copycat killers. You just look at this graph. This graph is, we've brought it up before, and it's so important. Look at image 31. This poll was taken in the immediate aftermath of Charlie's assassination. And the question was posed, is it ever justified for citizens to resort to violence in order to achieve political goals? And this is the percent responding yes. In the 18 to 39 group of liberals, 30% said yes, violence was justified. We have other polls that say almost 50% would suggest the same thing for Elon Musk, and over 50%, 55% would say the same for President Trump. There it is. That's that graphic. That they think it would be justified to kill those men to achieve a political end. Since 2025, assaults on ICE officers have skyrocketed 1,800% overall, with vehicular attacks up 3,200%.
Hey, I appreciate everybody who liked the stream today. Within the first 60 minutes, we got almost 30 likes. Usually we're at 100 likes by now, but I understand I took a week off. Shouldn't have done that. It is what it is, but we're back on the grind. So make sure you guys support the channel by liking the stream. If you're not in the family already, join the See Me Now family by hitting the subscribe button with the notification bell so you can be in every single live stream I do. Make sure you guys double tap the screen. If double tap doesn't work, hit the three dots on the top right corner of your screen and hit the like button that way. God bless.
Blake mentioned before that a gunman shot up an ICE facility, didn't kill any ICE officers, but he killed a few detainees. Incidents include attempted murders and protests turning violent. Charlie's assassination by Tyler Robinson, who cited Charlie's quote-unquote hate as his motive, exemplifies far-left inspired violence. Post-assassination, some online reactions celebrated it. Gross, vile, disgusting online celebrations, mirroring Mangione's fandom and fueling lawsuits over free speech crackdowns. Charlie was assassinated for speaking his mind in the public square.
Welcome back, Anna.
And what is the point? The point is they want to strike at the heart of free expression and free speech, open discourse. They want to silence conservative voices. It's a terrifying escalation and normalization of political violence and assassination culture. This is why we watch it so closely. This is why we're going to have our eyes on the Tyler Robinson case this afternoon. in just a little bit.
Yeah.
What does this do? It chills dissent. It heightens threats to public officials. You have numbers of the Trump administration living in military bases in and around D.C. because they are no longer safe to live in a normal home. If unchecked, this
Well, what about you guys, TPUSA, who are sending private investigators, like I just showed earlier, to take pictures of old employees' houses, whistleblowers' houses, and vehicles? What about you guys? Are you making it safe for the people who you fired?
legitimately could unravel the fabric of democracy, replacing ballots with bullets and dialogue with division, pushing America toward a fractured future where voices are silenced, not by votes, but by violence. This is much worse than the heckler's veto. This is the assassin's veto, and it must stop. We have to get to root causes, and when you see articles like this from The Atlantic, which is a complete joke, which is an intentional provocation, as Blake said earlier, inviting crazy people to take shots at conservatives by calling them all Nazis. The problem is only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. This is not a prestige publication. This is a joke of a publication that wants conservatives dead.
No,
And
I think I got to
go
push
ahead,
back
Blake.
at you on that one, Andrew. That's the problem. It's not a joke publication. First, he's not joking, and second, it really is, despite whatever we'd say, is a prestige outlet. Over 1 million subscribers. They are one of those very rare bastions that still has a huge amount of the prestige,
I
dignity,
agree.
whatever you want from half a century ago. And that is exactly why it's so dangerous. It's one thing if these insane things get written in, I don't know, someone's blog, if it's on a Substack post. This is one of the rare publications that can blast out an insane take to millions of people and launder it as a legitimate one. And the stuff he says in the article is just so over the top.
We should highlight some of these.
Throw up 386. The Department of Homeland Security used an anthem beloved by neo-Nazi groups. By God, we'll have our home again, in a recruitment ad. The Labor Department hung a banner of Donald Trump's face from its headquarters as if Washington were Berlin in 1936. It posted expressions on social media such as, America is for Americans, an obvious riff.
What's wrong with that? America is for Americans. Like, I just can't believe this. You know, you can't make this shit up. I can't believe the state of the world we live in today. Like, I just can't. I just can't. But I must say, the fact that, you know, we did good in the Olympics with hockey and other things, I feel like it's bringing back a sense of being proud to be an American. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. I'm proud, you know, no matter what, I'm proud to be where I'm from.
On the Nazi slogan, Germany
how about
is
it's just
for
common
Germans.
sense?
Yes, it's
How about
common
it's just
sense.
common
and
sense?
It's
But Blake,
it's a repeatedly overriding thing in all of these hysterical takes that like they just kind of they BS you, whatever you want to say about what you can tell your base. It's obviously not insane to say America should look out for Americans. America should be for Americans. So they have to like just say, well, it's a Nazi slogan. It's a Nazi slogan to say that. You don't want to be a Nazi, do you? And then in the article, he like has to cover for the fact that he's like, well, yeah, the left, you know, we've lionized Angela Davis, a college professor who helped murder a judge. You know, we all partied with Bill Ayers, a terrorist who mailed bombs to the military and to Congress. But like, you know, that's different. You know, our terrorism's
well,
okay.
Blake, I think he gives up the real story here in 385. This image. Critics of the GOP have long argued, something like the Trump movement and the emergence of a new American Nazism was inevitable. That conservatism as a belief system inevitably decays into fascism. So this is their core ideology. And this is why you see these unhinged...
And what's crazy is that, like, dude, like, I guess the last people to even remember this have to be born in 1999, but I mean, America was generally conservative throughout the start, you know? Like, your parent, if you smoked weed or you did whatever, you'd be looked down on, you know, that's why we call them hippies, or that we were generally conservative with how we wanted to conduct ourselves and act, especially with our parents. We'd be scared to go home and tell them bad news because you get a butt whooping or whatever, you know. It's just crazy how within 15 years or 20 years things can just shift like that, you know what I mean? And it's bred into generations. It's bred into new generations that this is how it's supposed to be, this is what it is, and this is what you're going to be called if you do this, or, you know, it's the propaganda tour, man.
Reactions across the Atlantic, by the way, to the rise of conservative populist movements like MAGA, because they believe that it's a runaway train that they must stop by not just punching a Nazi, by killing a Nazi. And make no mistake, that is the through line, that if force was justified to take out Hitler and the Third Reich in Germany, well, then force is justified to kill conservatives here because it inevitably decays into fascism. This is their fear. They stay up at night thinking that all of you watching this right now are Nazis, that I'm a Nazi, that we're all fascists. And so why not just take out a gun and shoot one of us? They've done it before and they're going to do it again. I pray for this country.
I wish I had another charger. I honestly do. Dude, and this Nancy Guthrie thing too, there's something up with it, dude.
I do have...
The family put out $1 million reward. We'll get into that after this, but this Nancy Guthrie situation is just like, something smells weird. You know what I mean? I feel like there's people involved, if you get what I'm saying.
Breaking news from the Tyler Robinson trial. Blake, and you've been following this along with us. So there was a motion by the defense to dismiss the prosecutor because one of the prosecution's team, other prosecutors on the team, had a daughter there. And apparently they moved to disqualify the entire prosecution because of this. A motion, if accepted, would have delayed this trial enormously. I think it's difficult to overstate that. And the court has now denied the motion, which is great news for justice.
Yes, it was a big delaying effort. It was a Hail Mary. You'd force out all the prosecutors in the office. Then they would have to send it to either the AG's office or a different county. You delay it for months. You muddle the case more. You drive people more into a frenzy about things. Because as we've said, the best counter to a lot of the wild things we've seen online, that we've seen in our own inboxes, that we've seen on X, is people want justice for what happened. They need to see the process playing out. And it's been so frustrating to people seeing how glacial things are moving. It's been frustrating to us above all. We're constantly asking, okay, when is there finally going to be a journey? When is there finally going to be a trial? They were trying to drag it out even further, and very thankfully, the judge did rule against this motion. So that means we're going to at least stay on the schedule that we'd set before.
So here's the actual language. The court now reads its ruling. We're getting video just breaking, which will...
Make sure you guys double tap that screen, man. We're almost to 30 likes. Let's try and hit 100 likes, man. Everybody double tap the screen, show some love and support. If you're enjoying the stream, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button with the notification bell and join the See Me Now family. We just hit 10,000 subscribers 2 weeks ago. We're on the road to 20,000. Let's continue to grow, man. Let's go.
Will be made available and posted later today. Before the court defends its motion to disqualify Utah County Attorney's Office, defendant argues that high-level prosecutor assigned to this case has a concurrent conflict of interest, and because no efforts were made to screen him, the entire office should be...
You know, Skippy, we got to see where Pumpkin's at and Stacy. Well, I guess Stacy was in here yesterday, wasn't she? Welcome in, Jennifer. God bless. Welcome back. Welcome back. Appreciate every single one of you guys, man. God bless.
Be disqualified. Again, this is coming from the defense. This is the judge ruling. Because defendant has not established a factual basis for finding conflict of interest or objective appearance of impropriety rising to a constitutional concern, his motion is respectfully denied. So as we looked, so this was a big one that we marked on the calendar to see if this case was going to get delayed or if the speedy trial promise that we are afforded, well, in his case, as the defendant, was actually going to be met. But yes, to Blake's point, this was a delay tactic. It has been denied by the court. So
welcome in, Jennifer.
We're grateful there. So next landmarks to keep an eye on. We are
welcome back, Michelle.
all eyes on May. So May is going to be the big month, and that is going
She was sick the last time you heard from her. Yeah, I'll have to hop on Discord and say what's up to her.
to be the preliminary hearing where the prosecution team, which will now stay in place, is going to present the mountain of evidence that they have accumulated over the course of these months against Tyler Robinson. I'm told a lot of this is evidence that you have not seen or heard before. Some of it was in the original charging documents, but there is going to be additional evidence. And, you know, I just hearken back to the words of Jonathan Turley, who reviewed this case and said that if 90%, if the defense was successful in getting rid of 90% of the evidence against Tyler Robinson, he'd still be found guilty and subject to capital punishment for his crime. These days, the online world moves fast. That's why TikTok approaches experience to think that you could lose 90% of what we already know exists, still get a guilty verdict, but then there's even more that they haven't yet made public.
No, my kid's in a whole nother room, like way away. Hey, how's your kid doing? She's doing good. I kept her home for the last day of her steroids, so she's just chilling. She's laying in another room. Make sure I have my air purifiers on too. She has asthma, so smoking around her is a no-go. You know what I'm saying?
Mountains,
and let alone like reactive airway disorder, kind of is just like colognes could make it react. But she's been doing really good. Like ever since I got them back, you know, from the custody battle, she went from being, you know, her asthma flaring up like almost every other day or every other week to now she's clean for months. Like she does good for months. So, and she did good this winter. My doctor gave me props because I had her really clear this winter.
Or potentially, is a very, I guess, comforting thought as we seek justice for Charlie. Blake, I don't know if you have any other thoughts on this matter, but
no, I mean,
it's just a big moment.
It's just a genuine mercy. We're very happy to see it. I think
we have the clip now.
We can't talk about it as
also not yelling. What do you mean yelling? I never yelled
much for obvious reasons, but it's trying for us to observe it. It causes
all your caps. No, you're good. You're good.
It's a lot of stress to see updates like this, and we do have to trust the process. And it's good when the process plays along and shows you what you want to see, which is this sort of thing.
And we are loaded. We have the clip 404.
The court now reads its ruling, which will be made available and posted later today. Before the court is defendant's motion to disqualify Utah County Attorney's Office. Defendant argues that high-level prosecutor assigned to this case has a concurrent conflict of interest, and because no efforts were made to screen him, the entire office should be disqualified. Because defendant has not established a factual basis for a finding of conflict of interest or an objective appearance of impropriety rising to a constitutional concern, his motion is respectfully denied.
Was his camera the one that's turned off? Like, why is his camera always turned off? Or like, why can you never see him? Or was he in the courtroom? I can't tell.
Good. And I guess they're moving to a death penalty discussion upcoming, so we're going to continue monitoring that. But this is, I feel like, been a really important show, actually. You sometimes wake up in the morning and you don't know which ones are going to be important. When I saw that, I think they're all important, but some are more so. But when I saw that clip from President Trump, it was this moment of vulnerability from the commander-in-chief ahead of what's typically considered the most or one of the most important addresses to the nation on the calendar. And so he's going to talk about, you know, the economy, the wins, focus on domestic tranquility and success. And overshadowing so much of this conversation tonight is this idea that the left wants political violence exacted upon its political enemies, conservatives, MAGA. God bless Chip Roy for addressing it in committee, but more work needs to be done. This needs to be rooted out at a very deep level It stole our friend from us, the host of this show, whose name is still on this show. It has almost taken President Trump's life, countless others in the administration. And it is a pall that hangs over this whole country. It's a tragedy. It's an evil, and it must be blotted out. Pray for America. Pray for this country.
Yeah. Dude, it's just so crazy hearing them talk, and then it's like all the things that they're doing. Like sending private investigators to employees at houses that they fired, and yeah. It's just wild, dude. Listening to them talk like that. Alright, so let's go. Alright, let's move on to a little bit different news here. This was the we'll get this one off the list first, since it has to do with the Tyler Robinson.
Steve's alerting a major ruling in the case
same
against
thing we're
Charlie
listening
Kirk's
to.
alleged assassin. The judge denying Tyler Robinson's attempt to disqualify the entire prosecution team.
Because defendant has not established a factual basis for a finding of conflict of interest or an objective appearance of impropriety.
Alright, we'll just skip this one because I don't think I wanted to see if he was in the courtroom. That's what I really cared about. All right, let's go to, sorry guys. Let's see how many subs we gained today. We're at we gained about 10 subs. All right. I see you guys. Thank you guys for subbing up. All right, Thomas Massey explodes on the DOJ.
Mr. Massey for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Congress created the Department of Justice. Congress funds the Department of Justice. And Congress is responsible for the oversight of the Department of Justice. When will we see justice? I'll tell you what I've not seen. I've not seen any arrests from the revelations in the Epstein files. Over 3 million documents describing horrible things, describing unspeakable things. So much of it.
I know it does seem like there's an effort to hide him, like for sure.
Redacted. Over 24 people have resigned, CEOs, members of government worldwide. But I haven't seen any arrests or investigations here in the United States from this Department of Justice. Prince Andrew, Duke of York, who has since been stripped of his royal titles due to his affiliation with Jeffrey Epstein, has been arrested. Peter Mandelson, who previously
He
served...
was actually arrested due to him apparently leaking information.
As UK's ambassador to the United States, resigned in disgrace from United Kingdom's House of Lords and the Labour Party. And he's been arrested. Former Prime Minister of Norway, Torbjorn Jagland, has been charged. But we don't see any charges, arrests, or investigations in the United States. What do we see? We see our FBI director celebrating in the locker room at the Olympics overseas. It's fine to be proud of this country, but we should be proud of this country because we have a system of justice that works. And yet we do not. Who are the men that should be investigated? I'll name them right here. Leon Black. You don't even have to see past the redactions to see that this man needs to be investigated. Jess Staley, accused.
Oh, he's calling them out. Holy shit, he's calling them out, boys and girls.
Of terrible things. It's right there in the files. Why is he not being investigated? And Leslie Wexner. Why did the FBI list him as a co-conspirator in their own documents in a child sex trafficking case, and then tell him, according to him, that they had no questions for him? Why is that? Well, the Epstein Files Transparency Act requires the DOJ and the FBI to disclose to us their internal memos and emails about how they made those decisions, whether to prosecute or not prosecute. Yet they have not delivered those memos. And we still don't have the memos and documents and emails
Jennifer.
from 2008 to explain why Jeffrey Epstein was given such a light sentence in what would have been an open and shut case of child sex trafficking, which allowed him to go back and recommit these terrible crimes, create hundreds of more victims, and ensnare so many other people in his conspiracy.
What'd you do?
Where are those documents that describe those decisions? We need justice. We want the Department of Justice to get to work, and that's what they need to do now. Madam Speaker, I rise today to let the American people know that this government is under siege. All three branches of this government is under siege by lobbyists and lawyers from a German company named Bayer. They spent over $9 million lobbying the executive branch and the legislative branch so that they don't have to be liable for any damages that their herbicide causes, otherwise known as Roundup. And they're having some success. Now, they haven't had any success yet in this chamber to get that immunity. They've had some success in the state legislatures, which are also under siege, to get this immunity from liability. Look, the Constitution guarantees people a trial if they've been harmed. Why are we contemplating going against the Constitution? The Attorney General has opined favorably for this German company in front of the Supreme Court about getting rid of any liability that they should have for any damages. And the most recent thing that we've seen, the executive branch. By the way, the President's Chief of Staff and the President's Attorney General work for one of the biggest lobbying firms that's received hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars from Bayer. And maybe that's why we've seen an executive order.
Make sure you guys double tap the screen, man. Like the stream. Let's try and get an algorithm. Show some love and support. I know I took a week off, but that doesn't mean we can slack. I'm back on the track. I'm back on the horse's back. Let's continue to get this going up like we on crack. No, I'm kidding. Double tap the screen, like the stream, show some love and support. Help propel us into the algorithm. If you're not already a part of the See Me Now family, join the See Me Now family by hitting the subscribe button with the notification bell and become a part of the community. One of the best communities on YouTube.
That says that the production of this chemical from this German company is a national defense priority. And we know why they're doing that. It's to keep them from having any liability. Everybody in this country deserves their day in court. This is wrong. We shouldn't succumb to the lobbyists, not in the executive branch, not in the judicial.
Yeah, Jennifer, I'm in North Dakota, and we've been doing a lot of snowstorms, or having a lot of snowstorms as well.
Branch, and certainly not here in Congress, and not in the state legislatures, but there's a lot of money at play. And I implore my colleagues to resist it and do not give them immunity. And I yield back.
The chair recognizes the woman from Minnesota, Ms. Morrison, for 5 minutes.
All right. Show some love and support, you guys, man. Like the stream. Show some love. We're at 35. Let's try and hit 50 likes, man. We just need 15 more likes. All right. So that was that video I wanted to go over. Yeah, Thomas Massie is based, dude. He just goes after... He just wants the real stuff to come out. I think he's one of the only genuine politicians we have, I feel like. You watch national weather? Yeah, we got a lot of snow, dude. I mean, it's a lot. This last week was like, that's why I didn't go live some days too, because it was just snow days where my kids had to stay home and I was just freaking shoveling, and then then we were sick, and it was just a lot of stuff going on. But we're back, and we're gonna go up.
And we have been monitoring for you out of Ozark, Missouri. We are learning the.
Anyone watch the movie Ozark? Or the TV show, I mean. This is my killer cat, who's an asshole.
Of 2 Missouri deputies. We are going to be listening in right now to the latest update for you right here on Live Now from Fox.
As you can see, you have many representatives of law enforcement from around the area and the state, as well as some of our federal partners here with me today. Today is a sad day for law enforcement in our community in southwest Missouri and across the state of Missouri. I want to express my sincere gratitude for everybody that's reached out to our agency and provided words of comfort, food, whatever it might be to help us through this situation. As you might know, this has been a very trying 24 hours, and I'm going to go through the timeline of yesterday and how this started, and then I will take a few questions, as well as some of my other law enforcement partners will take questions as well.
Yeah, he's a good cat. He catches a lot of mice, but he's got an attitude and some fight to him. He likes to attack people and stuff. So, yeah, he's nice 1 minute, and then the next minute he wants to harm you.
So, yesterday, February 23rd at 3:53 p.m., Christian County 911 received a call about a deputy down in the roadway near the intersection of Highway 160 and Glossop Avenue in Highlandville. At 4:05 p.m., responding deputies arrived and found Deputy Gabriel Ramirez fatally shot laying in the roadway. At 4:09 p.m., a possible suspect vehicle was identified, and at 4:13 p.m., the Missouri State Highway Patrol with Stone County deputies and multiple other agencies responded to an address off of Y Highway in the Galena area.
Good morning, Stacy. Missed ya.
4:35 p.m., the Missouri State Highway Patrol issued a blue alert, and an intense manhunt was launched for the suspect, who we identified as Richard Bird, age 45, of Stone County. At that time, investigators released a booking photo taken from a previous arrest on February 16th of this year from the Stone County Jail and released that. After further investigation, the suspect's vehicle was located in an area off of Highway 248 and 160 near the Reed Springs area. Multiple deputies and agencies responded at that time to the area, and a manhunt ensued and lasted approximately 9 hours. At 11:30 p.m. last night, the sighting of the suspect reported in a wooded area near the 2500 block of Highway 248. Multiple agencies responded to that area, along with the Missouri State Highway Patrol aircraft unit. And at 11:38 p.m., law enforcement started taking gunfire from the suspect in the wooded area. At that time, Deputy Josh Wall, sustained a debilitating gunshot wound to the leg. Also at that time, Webster County Deputy Austin McCall sustained 4 gunshot wounds. Responding law enforcement could not reach the injured deputies at that time due to continued gunfire from the suspect. After taking multiple rounds of gunfire from the suspect, law enforcement was eventually able to rescue the injured deputies. During that time, Christian County Deputy Michael Highslope suffered a fatal gunshot wound while he was attempting to reach and rescue the downed deputies. Deputies Wall and McCall were both transported to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. At that time, law enforcement utilized an armored vehicle to approach the suspect who continued to fire upon law enforcement. At that time, multiple law enforcement officers exchanged gunfire with the suspect and ultimately eliminated the threat. At that time, the Sheriff's Critical Incident Team responded and is currently still investigating that crime scene. Deputies Wall and McCall are recovering from surgery, and they're both in stable condition at the hospital right now. I want to thank all the responding agencies from this incident. As you will hear, there are multiple agencies from across southwest Missouri and the state. Christian County Sheriff's Office, the Ava Police Department, the Ozark Police Department, the Nixa Police Department, Reed Spring Police Department, the Missouri.
2 sheriffs were shot and killed. Suspect dead. Down in Ozark.
State Highway Patrol, the Greene County Sheriff's Office, Stone County Sheriff's Office, Douglas County Sheriff's Office, the Lawrence County Sheriff's Office, the Webster County Sheriff's Office, the Taney County Sheriff's Office, the U.S. Marshal Service, the ATF, the FBI, and the Missouri State Park Rangers, as well as the Missouri Department of Conservation. At this time, I will take questions as well as my partners.
Sheriff Cole, can we start with a traffic stop? What happened to make the deputy pull over Bird?
We're not clear on what the initial traffic stop was for. During a traffic stop, deputies and officers normally don't report what they're stopping them for, so we don't know at this time what that stop was for.
Yeah, I doubt that, because usually when cops are pulling someone over, they report it, right? So their dispatch knows what they're doing, right? That doesn't sound right to me.
Several posts on social media from sheriff's offices across Southwest Missouri have been calling out the fact that this suspect had a lengthy rap sheet and could have been locked away at multiple infractions and charges. Do you maintain some of your colleagues' opinions that this person should have been locked away years ago?
Well, I've had a lot going on in the last 24 hours. I've not had a chance to review his criminal history. I understand he has many and multiple arrests, some being as recent as a couple weeks ago and last week. But I can't really comment on his criminal history because I've not had a chance to look at that yet. But I do know he does have a criminal history.
Can you talk a little bit about the technology that was used last night to track him down, the drones, etc.?
So we had, as I stated earlier, we had aircraft from the Missouri State Highway Patrol, which...
By the way, guys, I do have a 10 super chat goal up of any color. So $1 and above. Any large donations, please go to the pinned comment, the link in the pinned comment to Ko-Fi.com for any large donations. But any donation $1 up, help me reach my goal of 10 super chats. Just a daily goal we do, but much love to everybody, man. Make sure you guys double tap that screen. We're 11 likes away from 50. Everybody double tap your screen. If the double tap doesn't work, tap the 3 dots in the top right corner and hit the like button. That way, show some love and support. Welcome in, Lawrence 15. Appreciate y'all for being here. God bless you guys.
We utilize the FLIR system, as well as multiple drones from multiple agencies that were equipped with the same type of technology. When we got the tip that, or the sighting, we were able to launch those resources, and very quickly, within just a couple minutes, did
this is in Missouri.
Locate a heat signature, and the Highway Patrol aircraft was able to establish that it was a person, and ultimately it was the suspect that we had located from the air.
The deputies that are recovering, can you spell their names for us?
Deputy Josh Wall, and that's W-A-H-L, and Deputy McCall from Webster County, it's M-C-C-A-L-L.
First name?
Austin. As far as answering calls for service, so currently the Ozark Police Department has been answering calls for service, assisting us. There's other agencies that likely will be assisting during this time period. So,
did he explain how he got the suspect? I want to know how he got the suspect.
If you do need our assistance during this time period,
no problem, Angie. God bless you.
And you live in Christian County, just know and understand that you may get a law enforcement officer from another jurisdiction that will be handling and taking care of your problem. But rest assured they're all professionals and they will handle whatever needs to be handled.
Is it known why the suspect was in the area at Christian County?
No, it is not known.
These cars have been parked out here for several hours, and in that time span, we've seen dozens of people leaving flowers. The gentleman was playing the bagpipes earlier. What does it mean to you and to all the other heads of the local agencies to have such a fast and immense response of support from not just the city of Ozark, but Christian County and across the region?
Well, it's just a testament to the people of our community and our state and the support that we have for our law enforcement community. It's something that you don't see necessarily in every part of the United States, but we're blessed here in Missouri and Southwest Missouri with a huge support system for our law enforcement community. It's at times overwhelming. We have an unbelievable amount of food that's been delivered to the sheriff's office, an unbelievable amount of phone calls and people reaching out with condolences. So it's just a testament to the people that we serve.
Can you give me a rough timeline of how long the second scene took place? Was it an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours? Do you have a rough timeline of that?
So that scene is still currently going on as we speak. They're still investigating that crime scene. That scene there began at about 4:09 yesterday afternoon.
What do you want to say to the other deputies who rushed in and try and catch this guy, knowing how dangerous he was and put their lives at risk?
So it's important to understand that when situations like this occur, it's very difficult for us to stand back and not try to go rescue our people. And there was multiple law enforcement officers on scene that didn't hesitate to do what needed to be done and go and take care of what needed to be taken care of and get our wounded deputies and officers back to safety for assistance.
Can't imagine what the family's going through right now. Are there resources available to them? How you guys are?
So we are in constant contact with the families. Had family in my office already today. We are offering them 24-hour support for as long as they need it, and plan to continue to do that for as long as it is needed.
It looks like it's got a lot of community attention here. God forbid this happens again. What kind of words of reassurance do you have for the community to make sure this doesn't happen again?
Well, rest assured that we in law enforcement are here to protect the citizens that we serve, and we will do whatever is necessary to do that. It's unfortunate events like this that do happen in law enforcement, and we train and we do everything we can to prevent these from happening. But we do put our life in harm's way every time that we come to work, and we understand and know that.
The scene in Reed Spring.
Yeah, a simple traffic stop, man, can turn into something tragic. It's sad. We'll let this play. I'll be right back.
For lack of a better phrase, the gunfight, how long would you say that lasted?
I don't have a time frame. I would estimate at least 30 minutes long. It was a lengthy period of time.
What can you tell us about the next steps going forward? Obviously, there's going to be a lot of support for the families, and in the coming days for all the law enforcement agencies. What can you tell us about the next steps?
Well, the next steps right now is we're trying to plan 2 funerals and support our injured deputies. We will continue to support our law enforcement community and make sure that they have the resources they need for mental health and things related to mental health. This is a difficult situation for everybody involved. Everybody handles these situations differently, and we're going to make sure that our people have everything they need to cope with this situation, as well as resources available to the citizens that we serve. We know there's people out there hurting as well, and those resources are available as well.
You mentioned multiple agencies. Do you have a rough ballpark figure of how many individual law enforcement officers were a part of this?
I have a rough estimate that I'm going to say about 150 law enforcement officers.
or will there be any official funds set up to support the families? We've already had some scammers coming out and people posing. Who can they trust in terms of donations if that comes to it?
So
That's so sad that people come out and are that scam and take advantage of tragic situations like this, like doing fake GoFundMes and Give Send Goes and, you know, trying to scam people out of their money when they just lost a family member, and people want to go help those people and they take advantage of that. Those are sick people, man. Terrible.
One fund that I can assure you that is a legitimate fund is the Christian County Deputy Sheriff's Association. That will be going out shortly with a Venmo, but that is a 501c3. It is a fund that goes directly to benefit the deputy sheriffs. So that is one fund that I know is a legitimate fund. We have already been alerted to multiple scams already trying to collect money that have nothing to do with what we're talking about today.
For those who might wish to pay their respects to the deputies, how long will these memorial be available?
It will be for the foreseeable.
Damn, dude, you need to fix your mic and your camera. Come on.
For future. It will not be leaving.
All right, the feed breaking up for us a little bit there, but terrible tragedy in southwest Missouri. The loss of 2 deputies during a shooting after a traffic stop, and then about a 9-hour manhunt that has since ended, but very, very sad news coming out of southwest Missouri.
Yeah, that's sad, y'all. Very, very sad. All right, so we're going to get in this Epstein storage unit situation, cover a couple more things. Then I recorded 3 videos yesterday to get ready for uploading during the week. And there was no sound on them when my settings got messed up and I didn't notice till I was done doing all my content. So that was pretty discouraging and upset me yesterday, but I got my intro fixed because apparently the first few, I made my intro, put it on my videos for the first however many months I had it, and all of a sudden the music on it is copyright. So I had to take it off, but I definitely fixed it and made it good. So we're good.
Epstein had secret storage lockers and units hiding incriminating evidence or possible blackmail material, and authorities just never searched them. We are breaking down the emails and the financial records that may suggest the deceased financier was storing away all these materials and potentially even wiping digital materials too, which could, by the way, explain why the feds say they have no evidence to go after anybody else. But with these revelations, what could happen now?
What do you think, though, too, if Jeffrey Epstein was involved with Mossad, like, you think as soon as he'd be arrested, just like some of these other child predators, that's why you got to put their phone in a Faraday bag or whatever, so it can't be accessed or hacked. A lot of the times they have secondary people who will help delete things and hack into the photos and whatnot. So, with the Jeffrey Epstein situation, I'm surprised that there's even files, But everything's a show, remember that.
To Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. I gotta say something as we're covering these stories. Staying on top of the news is so important, but with all of the media bias these days, who knows what to believe? Facts.
Who knows
Welcome
what to
back
believe?
to Trustworthy Journalism. Got another bizarre.
You can believe me?
Angle out of the Epstein files we got to talk about here. So we have this other episode coming out of whether or not Jeffrey Epstein had an incinerator on his New Mexico property to potentially destroy evidence. You can check that one out. But now there is an allegation based on reporting primarily by The Telegraph that the deceased financier and convicted sex offender hid evidence from U.S. authorities in storage lockers all around the country. Okay, and we're talking computers, photographs, including material namely from his little St. James Epstein Island. Now, if this is true, that would make sense, right, as to why the FBI has said in the files that they don't have evidence of photos or videos of other people abusing girls or women. So that would be a major revelation if true. And again, remember, when we talk about the Epstein Files Transparency Act, the DOJ just turned over everything in their possession. Maybe they didn't have in their possession what was in the storage lockers. If that's true, it becomes a question of why. But this, again, what we're about to go through is a major potential revelation if true. And the obvious question is, how do we maybe know this? And if it's true, can authorities go and find this stuff now? So the Telegraph reports that Epstein had paid detectives, maybe even private investigators, to take equipment out of his Palm Beach home to seemingly protect it from being found by investigators. And according to the Telegraph, he leased a unit, for example, from 2003.
Telegraph. These motherfuckers are telegraphing to each other? I mean, I guess the most encrypted shit, right? Telegraph. It's crazy.
Apparently leased a unit from 2003, and you have these credit card documents showing he seemingly made repeated payments, and we'll go through that. But here's the part that's really frustrating. According to the outlet, apparently U.S. authorities never searched these storage lockers or units. I mean, one thing that's highlighted by the Telegraph is when you look at photos of Epstein's properties, there are what appear to be large storage areas and basements that are just apparently sitting empty. Why? Was stuff moved? Maybe more importantly, why the need for these apparent storage lockers if you had the space? If you had the room on the property, why would you need storage units? And I'll get into the conversation on storage in a minute, but if you think about what could be in there, if this is true, you couple this with the theory that Epstein had allegedly secret cameras and secret recordings too, right? Look at this email that was sent to Epstein in 2014. Quote, remember what we spoke about if you want to put cameras in the house, it will have to be very discreetly done. The Russians may come in handy.
What?
And we know there were allegations that Jeffrey Epstein had ties to Russian officials, maybe the Russian government. How about this one? From Jeffrey Epstein to a member of his staff in 2014. Let's get 3 motion-detected hidden cameras that record. Thanks. So again, where's all that footage? I want to talk about the storage as potential areas to investigate, to potentially find evidence. So one of the emails from the Epstein release that I want to highlight is from August 2009. Now, this is about a month after Jeffrey Epstein is released from jail in Florida. Remember, he had pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution, including solicitation of a minor, and those convictions. And it seems there was a request from Epstein accuser, the late Virginia Giuffre, regarding certain evidence. Okay, so this is an email that Epstein forwards to his attorney, Roy Black, and then his attorney, Martin Weinberg. And this email is from a William Riley, who we'll talk about a little bit more. I believe it's an investigator of some kind. So this is an email from William Riley with the subject Epstein, and it reads, Bob, over the weekend I learned that plaintiff's counsel are looking to get from me the computers and paperwork I took from Jeff's house prior to the search warrant. I have them locked in storage and would like to know what to do with them. They are no longer needed in the criminal case, I assume. Is it possible to give you these items for your review and safekeeping, or give to Darren Indyke or back to Jeff, etc.? Indyke was Epstein's personal lawyer and at one point his co-executor of Epstein's estate. And then it goes on to say, I have attached my inventory and some of the photos of the items I have. Roy Black directed that the computer drives be cloned and he would have the results of that effort. The cloning was done by a forensic specialist, Dave Kleiman. Let me know ASAP, Bill Riley. Now, first of all, let me just say, is this going to be enough to warrant all these people being brought to Congress to testify? Maybe, but the key there, move computers and paperwork prior to the search warrant. I mean, an argument could be, was this material moved in anticipation of the criminal investigation? Was it hidden? The Telegraph explains what former Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Reeder said when authorities searched Epstein's Florida property in connection with the initial Florida state charges that he faced. He said the place had been cleaned up, added how certain computer material appeared to be gone. Now, to give you a further idea of this, while Epstein was still serving his time for the Florida state charges, we have this May 2009 email from Epstein to this William Riley, and it says, you are going to send me a copy of Redacted's picture. Riley writes back, I thought I had a copy of it on my computer, but it is in storage with everything else. I will get it out next time I go to the storage unit. So again, seemingly confirming there is a storage unit with information connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Actually, when you think about what these people were doing for him, it is believed that perhaps William Riley was a private investigator, an investigator of some kind. And as the Telegraph notes, there are financial statements that indicate a payment trail to Riley Corrali Agency for thousands of dollars. Here's an invoice that was sent to Epstein's lawyers. Now, regarding the evidence of storage, and there are more emails in the files release regarding storage. Like, for example, I found this communication regarding Uncle Bob's storage. How about this one from Leslie Groff? We've mentioned her a lot of times here on Sidebar. This is Epstein's former assistant. Look at this email. Were extra storage keys made and given to Corinna and redacted? Please confirm. Now, Corinna, again, somebody we focused on here on Sidebar. Corinna seems to be Corinna Shuliak, Epstein's purported secret girlfriend, who he was apparently planning on leaving the
It's like, was she a victim and then just turned into like a girlfriend or something? You get what I'm saying? Because where does she come from?
Massive his fortune, $100 million, all of his properties. We saw this upon his death. Epstein spoke to her for about 20 minutes the night before he died. So storage lockers, Corinna, can see where we're going with this. It's very interesting to say the least. By the way, I should also let you know, even if there are storage units, maybe it's just personal items, maybe it's certain things that have no connection to criminal activity or blackmail, but again, weird. Now, how about this email thread with the
100%, Jennifer. We all know that. I mean, she definitely did not unalive herself.
subject regarding Jeffrey Epstein extra storage meetup today, please. And you have messages like this. Hello, as I sent in the other email, I am coordinating a storage locker for you. I will have it by the end of this week. I will keep you posted. Thank you, Andrew. Then this one. Morning, Andrew. Just circling back regarding the extra storage. Was today a good day for redacted to meet with you or tomorrow? TJA or Taja. You have this one. Hi, Andrew and Anthony. It seems someone has changed the code on our storage locker. Both redacted and redacted have tried with our codes and cannot seem to make it work. Might it be possible someone on your end changed the codes? By the way, the more and more people you see connected to this, again, I go back to the idea, the more and more people you can question about this. Now, the Telegraph reports that Epstein apparently rented a storage unit near his New York mansion, and they cite this email with his purported accountant, Richard Kahn, in 2012, where Epstein writes, if things are being moved out on Monday, why do we need to wait until the 18th to do floors? Kahn writes back,
You know, did you hear that? Apparently, Virginia Giuffre's brother came out and said that there's files that have Trump involved or that implicate Trump that are apparently missing from the release. That's Virginia's own brother coming out and saying that there's files that implicate Trump that have been just that are missing. So a lot of stuff is going on, man.
We had a lot of excess equipment, furnishings, and supplies at 301. I'm trying to preserve as much usable stuff left behind, such as computers, supplies, etc. I will need some time to get rid of it. If you do not care where that stuff ends up, let me know, and apartments can be ready sooner. How about this one? September 2010. Jeff, would you get your accountant to send me credit card information so I can have it put on file to have the monthly charges at Manhattan Mini Storage billed directly to your card? I would appreciate it. Thanks. This one. Jeffrey, the below link for your consideration. Do we have your approval to move forward with purchasing, and what color? Gray, tan, or blue? Now, according to the Telegraph, Epstein would apparently discuss transporting computers and CDs from Epstein's Island, Little St. James Island, to the storage units. And this is the also concerning part, even alleged communications about wiping these materials clean. So while I was looking for emails corroborating that, I mean, this idea of wiping material clean, let me just tell you some of the things I stumbled upon. You got this email from Epstein's personal assistant in 2017, and it says, hello, James and Redacted. James, Jeffrey would like you to get Redacted's computer and wipe it clean. Can the two of you coordinate a convenient time to do this? Okay, there's a lot of reasons. I guess people could want computers wiped clean, but when you're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, who was already convicted of solicitation of prostitution and then was later on accused of operating a sex trafficking of minors operation, see why this is strange, right? How about this one? Hey Les, J.E. mentioned he wants Scott to wipe clean Ahmad's laptop today. I'm not so sure Ahmad is aware of this or who should inform Ahmad of this. And I'm guessing it will require Scott to go to 301 to do so. How about this communication from Epstein's apparent accountant Richard Kahn to Epstein in 2015? The subject,
I guess, never mind.
Items in PBI garage, so possibly referring to Palm Beach Island. Janice would like to review with you as he believes some items such as old computers, once wiped, can be discarded. By the way, the Telegraph reports that this is not 100% clear where the computers were stored, but remember I mentioned Uncle Bob's? So the publication claims that this is a self-storage unit in Florida and that Epstein had been leasing it since 2003, and that there are even credit card statements showing Epstein was billed almost $400 a month until March of 2015. The Telegraph also claims that there are financial transactions where it appears that Epstein paid for storage units all across Florida for 10 years with lockups in industrial areas on the outskirts of Palm Beach and Delray Beach. Oh, by the way, that Janice person.
Yeah, I doubt that these storage units are ever going to be opened or found. Make sure you guys double tap that screen, man. Get those likes up. Help propel us into the algorithm. I appreciate everybody for being here today. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the See Me Now channel. We've already gained over 10 subscribers today. We're at 10,478. We're on the road to 20K. Show some love and support. Join the family. I appreciate everybody for being here. God bless you guys.
So the Telegraph reports that that was apparently Epstein's house manager at the Palm Beach property. Let me highlight this email, okay? This was an email seemingly sent to Epstein's pilot, Larry Vasosky, from his accountant, Bella Klein. Quote, "Hi, Larry. Just received lease from Uncle Bob Storage. Company also offers smaller units with space, 510 for $71 per month, 5 by 15 for $115 per month. Please confirm that we need all the items in the storage. If you think the items can be removed, we can get a smaller place. Janice is also using the storage sometimes. Now he will need to move some furniture from the garage to the storage. Not sure who makes the decision to put old furniture from garage to storage to add more cost to it." And Vasosky is asked at one point by Klein, "What about all speakers? Box with CDs?" What are these CDs, right? Whenever we talk about Jeffrey Epstein and digital material, question mark comes up. Now, at one point, you even had this communication where you see that Janice is listing out an inventory and
My family really needs your help. What do you mean, Anna?
says there are 3 computers. So this potentially provides a whole other avenue to explore for possible evidence. I mean, it was believed that computers were seized during the search of his Florida property by authorities, but again, didn't find evidence of sexual assault regarding other people. And when the FBI searched his New York mansion, there was a warrant that indicates that authorities seized 2 electronic devices from Jeffrey Epstein's person, so from himself, 33 devices from his Manhattan townhouse, and
this guy just looks like he's like a creep. He's just like, every time I look at him and hear him talk, he's just, especially with that interview he did with whatever his name is, it's just crazy.
27 devices from Epstein's island. But we didn't see anything, and this is mentioned by the Telegraph, nothing about raids or search warrants or seizures on these outside storage units. In fact, August 2019, there was a communication from an FBI agent in New York, and this is what it read. "We are just about finished with the search. I am attaching the SITREP, so a situation report. We seized several computers, storage devices, documents, and a couple of servers. Nothing appears to be a smoking gun type of evidence, but we'll see when we do the computer forensics." And again, we go back to that conclusion from the DOJ and the FBI last year. Remember their memo that was released? No client list, no evidence of blackmailing, not enough evidence to go after uncharged third parties. I'm summarizing here, but you remember this. And then in the files that were just released, and I did a whole sidebar on this, but in the files, you had this internal FBI case summary, a memo, where it said, "The case agents and AUSAs, Assistant United States Attorneys, ensured that all videos and images from the case file and from Epstein's residences and devices were reviewed for evidence of a crime. Those reviews revealed no evidence from any of the searches we conducted or any of the files we reviewed that any videos or other images exist of any victims in this case being sexually abused. Nor did those reviews reveal any evidence that anyone other than Epstein and Maxwell participated in the sexual abuse of victims in this case. We are aware of the theories circulated in the media and online that Epstein video recorded the abuse of his victims, including by other men, but we have found no evidence to support that theory. Indeed, had we found such videos, we certainly would have used them as evidence in the criminal cases we investigated and prosecuted and would have pursued any leads they generated. We did not, however, locate any
How old is she?
such videos.
Sorry to hear
However, now that we're talking about all this, is that really the end of the story? I'll tell you who doesn't believe that. Gloria Allred, acclaimed attorney, represents Epstein survivors, told The Telegraph the FBI or Homeland Security should immediately seek a search warrant or permission from the attorneys representing Epstein's estate to seize the contents of his storage units if the contents still exist. And she added that the lockers, these units, may have, quote, evidence of his crimes and or business or political relationships with rich, powerful men. Victims deserve the whole truth and do not want what may be important parts of it hidden from them. And look, she's right, okay? First, this may put pressure on the FBI and the DOJ to respond to if they ever searched or knew about outside storage units. And by the way, if they didn't know about it, if it's coming out now, I mean, why would it take The Telegraph to look through this to make the argument that there might be something more there anyway? And also it might put pressure on the FBI and the DOJ to respond to whether they can get a judge to sign off on a warrant to search these units. Is there evidence of criminality? And you also have to wonder if these units still exist or whether or not they house Epstein materials. And if not, where did everything in these apparent storage units go? The easiest would, as Gloria Allred said, to have the attorneys, Epstein's attorneys, allow this, but not sure they're going to allow this. And let me tell you, the unit owners, so the companies that own the storage units, they're not going to hand over anything willingly, okay? They will require some sort of permission or a court order. But it also does become a question, will the DOJ move forward with this? Will the U.S. attorneys? I mean, let's not forget, there are a ton.
Yeah, first of all, take her out of that school. And you should get her in, you should teach her about defending herself, get her into jiu-jitsu or get her into some sort of fighting sport, get her confidence up, you know. She's definitely gonna have, if this is, you know, true, she's definitely gonna have to, I would suggest change schools, get her confidence up, get her into fighting. That's what I'm doing with my kids. Get her in the fighting, take her out of school for a little bit if you have to, get that confidence up, really kind of be her mentor. And yeah, because, you know, especially if she already tried to attempt that, you know, you're gonna have to, you know, rewire her brain in a way, you know. But does she have a father? I mean, where's her dad at? If I was her dad, I'd be going to that school and whooping all 7 of those kids, or whooping their parents.
A lot of politics involved here, and what
if you want to take her out of that, if they want to take her out of that school, that's her parents' prerogative. They can't put her in jail.
Happens next, and whether or not this investigation,
the school can actually be sued if they don't do anything about the bullying. So
is going to move forward.
If it's
but the
recorded,
more that comes out of the files and the more pressure from Congress and the public, you may see action. And look, what's in these potential storage units may not necessarily be evidence of, let's say, sex crimes, but look what we're covering right now. You're looking at investigations and arrests of Prince Andrew and Peter Mandelson out in the UK regarding allegedly sharing sensitive information. That seems to be the claim. So the more that you can understand about Epstein and his network of connections and what other material he may have had potentially shielded, A, it does raise questions about whether there's other charges or investigations that should be pursued, and B, just going back to the top, was there material that was purposely hidden from investigators regarding a pending investigation? You don't need to be an expert to know that could be potentially criminal charges there too, right? And if those apparent storage units are found and the material is found, this could be an entirely new chapter in the Jeffrey Epstein saga. Let's see what happens. That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much.
Who takes pictures like that? Like, that picture of him was so nasty. It's so ugly.
Last summer, 23-year-old.
I'm going to be on for probably another 30 minutes now. I'm going to get off. If I have any information that could help us, please contact me. We really need a lawyer. Yeah, it depends. The lawyer situation is difficult. When it comes to suing, I mean, you can find a lawyer that'll do it, and they'll take a fee, but I'd really threaten the school board. That's what I would do. I would definitely threaten the school board I'd be going there. I'd say, we've tried, look at what has the strain that's been put on my granddaughter. She's tried to unalive herself twice. You guys haven't done nothing about that with these 7 kids. Like, you got to really, yeah. But truly, the real way for her, shout out Banjo, welcome back. Truly, what I recommend is getting her confidence up with self-defense classes, whether it's jiu-jitsu, it's boxing, or it's whatever. Get her in it, make her do it, be there for her, and even show up for her practices. Give her reasons to want to stay, whether it's homeschooling for a little bit, and it's but really go after the school for sure. I mean, schools can't get away with that stuff, and with the world we live in now, with things that have happened, definitely there's things you can do when it comes to getting on the school board's ass and threatening to sue, because the moment you threaten to sue, they're going to change things up, because they don't want that, especially if you have a good case.
Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. Mrs. Zaretska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. I'm asking this Congress to pass tough legislation to ensure that violent and dangerous repeat offenders are put behind bars, and importantly, that they stay there.
The mother of that Ukrainian refuge murdered by that repeat offender, out on no cash bail in North Carolina, breaking down into tears last night. The mother was, as you can see, as President Trump promises justice over these senseless murders. And Lawrence, the Dems did not stand up, and Donald Trump said, how do you not stand?
Unbelievable. It's true. Attorney General Pam Bondi was there.
Yeah, the Democrats are just pathetic.
And she joins us now. Madam Attorney General, thanks so much for joining Fox and Friends this morning. Your immediate reaction to what Ainsley was just referring to. You got that mother. She's bawling because her daughter was brutally murdered on video.
My daughter's right here. She took
and
her
the
shirt
Democrats
off. So I'm
don't
going to
even
turn off
stand.
my webcam quick.
Yeah, Lawrence, this is the stark contrast. They would not stand, the Democrats, for that beautiful young woman, Irina Zaretska, who was killed, who was murdered on the subway. And here's the contrast. We are prosecuting the guy, the monster, and we are seeking the death penalty. That's the stark contrast between Donald Trump Republicans and the Democrats. They refuse to even stand for that victim. It was heartbreaking that Irina's mother had to experience that. That should be nonpartisan.
Yeah, I appreciated last night not only these touching stories and reasons why Donald Trump has these laws. It's not because they want to say he's racist. It's because when you're here illegally, you should not have a driver's license. You see what happens when there's a crash, when you can't read the road signs, when you don't speak English, you can't read English, and then you plow into this.
Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate you. God bless.
Little girl, her life has changed forever. Her parents have to take care of her forever. This lady leaves Ukraine and comes to America, and her child is throat slashed on a train in North Carolina because this guy is out on cash bail. Yeah. These are the kinds of things they want to say he's racist. He really just loves Americans and is trying to protect families.
Ainsley, as you know, he loves America. President Trump has made America safe again, and that's what he's doing. And in turn, that makes Americans feel safe to go to work, to have jobs, to be able to go to church, to be able to function in our country and be safe. And that's what's driving our economy. Donald Trump making America safe. And that's why our economy is at a record high. We all know that, and it's safe. And, we also had last night there Andy Wolf, and I've gotten to be very close with his mom, Melody. And something else, Ainsley, you'll appreciate this, what President Trump said, what's very different. We are a praying administration.
I loved that.
We all are. Our cabinet prayed before we went out there last night. We prayed for the president.
Amazing.
We prayed for Congress. We prayed for the country. And that's because of Donald Trump. And that's what's making America safe. And, Andy Wolf is a miracle. And seeing him standing there with his mom, Melody, she's such a proud mom. And I think I've spoken to you about this. They prayed so much about his health. President Trump talked to them on the phone with me many times, and he's just, he so deserved the Purple Heart, and so did Sarah's parents, who lost her life that day. President Trump is always going to keep Americans safe.
So the president gave everybody a choice last night. He said the first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. Stand up if you agree. And almost all the Democrats stayed seated. That's what you were up against on a daily basis, isn't it?
That's what we're up against every single day. Every single day, that's what we're up against.
I appreciate you, Anna. Yeah, my kids are my world too, and that's how it should be. I appreciate the kind words. Much love.
Yes, but as you saw, Donald Trump won't be deterred. We won't be deterred. We're going to protect Americans. You know, it's very simple. You should have an ID to vote in an American election, and if you're an illegal alien, you're not going to vote in our elections. And that's what the Democrats boo. That should frighten everyone.
And
yeah, Attorney, I'm sorry.
It's an 80-20 issue.
It's an 80-20,
right.
and the representative, Janelle Bynum, she was interviewed by C-SPAN. She said that part of the speech made her uncomfortable and that it was racist. Being an American, standing up for Americans, is now racist in this country, Attorney General. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's just crazy how we can't even sit here and put Americans first without being called a Nazi or a fascist or anything of that nature. It's just sad.
President Trump addressing rising tension with Iran last night ahead of tomorrow's high-stakes talks in Geneva.
He also spoke to lawmakers about his ongoing push for peace in Ukraine. Stephanie Bennett joins us now from London with all the details. Hi, Stephanie.
Good morning. Yeah, President Donald Trump says he wants to resolve this standoff with Iran through diplomacy, but also emphasize that he will never let them have a nuclear weapon.
My preference is to solve this problem through diplomacy. But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far.
Yeah, she's like her dad. She gets hot, so she likes to take off her shirt, and I can't be having her on camera like that, so put her on the side for a second. She's my twin. She's my little baby. She's always stuck to my hip. Oh. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you more.
To have a nuclear weapon, can't let that happen. And no nation should ever doubt America's resolve. We have the most powerful military.
Now, the president said he could take military action if no deal is reached over Iran's nuclear program. The U.S. is increasing its military presence around the region, and the U.S. State Department ordered all non-essential staff to leave its embassy in Beirut. While Iran has warned it will retaliate if attacked, with U.S. bases in the region seen as potential targets. Meanwhile, anti-government protests in Tehran continued for the 4th day. Both sides will hold talks in Geneva tomorrow.
After midnight hammer, they were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, and in particular, nuclear weapons. Yet they continue. They're starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again. And are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon.
The president also mentioned the war in Ukraine, which marked 4 years since Russia's invasion yesterday. President Trump told lawmakers they're working to resolve the war, fighting for peace.
It's crazy how fast time goes by. I remember when Russia first invaded Ukraine and where I was and when I was working. I remember it all. It's just crazy how fast time goes.
Ever he can. Now, reports suggest President Trump wants to reach a peace deal by the 4th of July. We have heard from the Kremlin, who said they'll keep fighting until its goals are achieved. Todd, Carly?
Stephanie Bennett live for us in London. Stephanie, thank you. Let's bring in senior fellow at the Independent Women's Forum and member of the Council on Foreign Relations.
What are these glasses, homie? My girl, you need to change your attire. This is not the look. Oh.
Dr. Khan, to Ahmed. And Dr. Ahmed, let's start in Iran. The president, crystal clear, no nuclear weapon. Did Iran finally get that message, or are they so dug in at this point to their own destruction?
In President Trump's masterful speech, he was nothing but transparent about the choices Iran has to make. And I'd say actions speak louder than words. We have 1/3 of the U.S. Navy in the region. We have tremendous air power in the region. Our allies are all on notice. I think we're on the threshold of open conflict.
Interesting. Did you see last night's speech in any way, shape, or form having a material impact on tomorrow's talks in Geneva? Or quite frankly, Dr. Ahmed, is tomorrow in Geneva going to be same old, just going around in circles with ultimately, like you said, conflict being the answer?
I think the United States has been extraordinarily patient with this regime. But the United States, and you saw all the ordinary Americans that were honored at the State of the Union, are a nation of decency. And the atrocious mass murder of 30.
No, Putin's not going to stop. He's going to do it until he gets what he wants. And it's pretty clear that all the world's superpowers right now are making advancements to make attacks or get what they want. And it's pretty evident with when Trump said he wanted to take Greenland and all this other stuff. It's pretty evident that we're seeking geographical advantages for a reason. And I feel as if there's something obviously that they're not telling us with what's going on with Russia and China and the talks between them and natural resources, and the fact that China was doing infrastructure deals in Venezuela, soon to be talking about building a port there. Just a lot of different things where it just seems to be where Trump is preparing the United States for a potential conflict. So he wants to get Greenland, he wants to get these, Venezuela, he wants to get these places because if anything does happen, then we have the geographical advantage, right? And that's what people don't understand is that, we still haven't got away from having world superpowers. And back then it was kingdoms wanting to conquer each other, Rome and all this other stuff. But now today's Rome is America. Today's, kingdoms are China and Russia. And people want to pretend like we should just let every country be sovereign, and no country is looking to is it Icky? If people think China and Russia aren't looking for ways to take out America or get land, you're okay. Then they're dumb, and that's why I feel like Trump is doing what he's doing.
1,000 plus Iranians, the president mentioned. Almost 400,000 people maimed, blinded, is not acceptable to us as ordinary Americans. Yeah. And so the Iranians are out of time. What was very significant was Marco Rubio's meeting with leaders in Congress and Senate, closed doors, immediately before the State of the Union. And so the Iranians will probably think that they can talk their way out of this. But the options for this regime are out, and the United States is poised for what is going to be a rescue of 93 million Iranians hostage to this tyranny.
I'm really glad you mentioned Marco Rubio's address to Congress before the president's address to Congress. He also delayed his meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel until Monday. It was supposed to be on Saturday. We also moved 12 F-22s to a base in Israel yesterday, and we evacuated non-essential personnel from Lebanon, from the Lebanon embassy as well. With that in mind, could we see the United States strike Iran as soon as this weekend?
Well, we have also India's prime minister on a 2-day visit now.
I don't support war. I support geographically getting advantages, though. That's period, and any American should.
In Israel, very important bilateral
I'm not talking
relations.
about just massacre people and take their land. I'm talking, making deals and being, able to negotiate and get allies.
Relationship involving defense and technology between the two nations. So Prime Minister Modi will be leaving, I think, tomorrow or Friday. And we have an auspicious anniversary in the Jewish calendar approaching on the 1st or 2nd of March, which commemorates the survivorship of Jewish people from a Persian genocide in ancient Persia. So we are absolutely on the threshold. This president is a president for peace, but there can be no peace while we have a belligerent Iran that targets its entire region and shows no contrition. It shows no retreat from its ambitions.
Dr. Kanta Ahmed.
That's a lot of naval assets over there. Holy crap. Look at all these. USS Canberra. Like, they're even in this little peninsula or whatever it is right here. It's crazy. Saudi Arabia. I mean, Israel's right here. Yeah, this war is just dumb to me.
The president has a remarkable legacy we're seeing building now, but something that also could happen, this is an enormously high stakes decision he's taking.
Of course.
If it goes well, which I believe it will, we are going to reverse this 25 years of America being seen as unsuccessful in supporting the rights and future of a peace-loving Middle East.
Sure.
I think we're about to change that in an extraordinary way.
It would be historic. Dr. Kanta Ahmed, great insight as always. Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling.
Yeah, I mean, I just truly think that the push for Greenland would be geographically and strategically good, you know? And it's, but you make a deal, you know, and the benefit for Greenland where it's like, you know, we'll help you with infrastructure, we'll do this, we'll do that. And it's all, you know, just a big deal. Like Trump's book, The Art of the Deal, right? Like, that's just how it is. Do I support the war in Iran? No. Do I want them to... There you go. Do I want them to have nukes and then possibly, you know, take us out? No. But it's just... There's not much really you can say or do when it comes to this kind of stuff because... You know, there's many different ways you can look at things. You know what I mean? I just wish that we would stop being so gripped by Israel. I wish that we would have our own... Stop it. Stop. I wish we'd have our own country's interest. You want me to take it? Then stop it. I wish we'd have our own country's interests at heart. I wish that we would... be a little bit more diplomatic with how we handle things and stuff like that. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, when it comes down to it in America, it actually has to take a fight maybe to our soil, God forbid. We're going to want to have geographical advantages, you know. We're going to want to have, you know, and sometimes it comes down to conquering. That's just how it is. No real superpower is going to go untouched or go and continue to be strong if they no longer conquer things, if they no longer acquire new things and new advantages, right? So I mean, I guess I don't know. I just wish that I wish, you know, America would have more patriotism. I wish we'd all come together more. We don't have a huge number of U.S. bases in Greenland. We only have one that we kept from what I researched this morning. We used to have a lot of bases in Israel or in Greenland, and then we abandoned them, but we kept one. That's what I heard, or that's what I was reading this morning. So I don't know. After the Cold War, we had a lot of bases, but then we kind of just slowly went down the one. But yeah. So anyways, I'm going to get off because I got videos I got to make. I wouldn't have had to get off so early today if I noticed that my audio wasn't working yesterday on my videos I recorded. So that's my fault. But so I got to go back and re-record my videos. Make sure my settings are good. Because as you guys know, I changed computers because the settings are saved on that one. So I don't have to mess this one up. It's just a whole thing. So... But I appreciate everybody for being here today. God bless you guys, and I appreciate. Let's see how many subs we're at. I appreciate everybody for subbing up. We've gained like 10 subs today, over 10. We're at 10,480, so we're almost at 10.5 thousand subs. So it's inevitable before we get to 20. We're gonna get there, man. I just feel that there's something that they know that we don't. Like there's something coming. There's some sort of conflict that's being threatened, or there's some sort of whatever. Because why else would we want to try and get these geographical advantages right now? You know, unless we were at risk of some sort of war, or some sort of you know, threat, which I truly do believe is China and Russia right now. Them trying to get together and band together. You know, at one point, Russia and the United States had a good, you know, relationship, especially when we fought alongside each other in World War II or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I just pray for I pray for our country. I pray for our nation. I pray for our people. I pray for unity. I pray for the stop of division and violence, and I pray for continuation of peace and throughout the world, because that's what we need. Nuclear war ain't gonna get us anywhere, and it's throughout history. It's pretty evident that we got ourselves to a certain advancement we got ourselves to a certain point of advancement, and then we ended up blowing ourselves up because we're so stupid, you know. So I feel like world peace is just the best thing to get, you know, when it comes to being able to continue to advance ourselves and our countries, and continue to make relationships, and continue to just further the human race in every way possible. Conflict doesn't help anything, you know. The fact that we even have to talk about nuclear weapons is crazy. Like, why should we want to nuke each other, you know? But that's just the way of the world, you know. Each country has their own leaders with their own egos. Each country has their own interests with their own intentions, and it just is what it is. And you know, I don't like it, but I just pray for world peace. I pray for you know, the unity instead of division, and I just pray that God helps every single person in this world, you know, get the hate out of their heart so we can come together. Because at the end of the day, watching this and seeing it, it's obvious that something's unfolding before our very eyes. And like I keep saying, within the next 10 years, it's going to be interesting where we're at. So, but I'm going to get off. I appreciate you guys. I know, Stacy, I just text Pumpkin on Discord, in our Discord. Everybody join the Discord if you want to be a part of the community and you want to continue to be a part of the community. Good way to get a hold of me or anyone else, like the moderators, is through Discord. Join the Discord community. Yeah, I hope she's okay too. I messaged her on Discord. Hopefully she's all good. I'm going to text her again. But yeah, I mean, hopefully she's all straight. I guess Skippy said she was sick, so I don't know. Hopefully she's good though. I know I haven't seen a few people that usually were on here for, you know, when I was at 4,000 subs, I used to have a lot of people that were moderators, and I guess I gotta go through my moderator list and see who doesn't show up anymore and get rid of them. But it's sad because I wish everybody would stay and come in here every day, and you know, I wish the community would continue to grow with repeated, you know, viewers, and people would stay instead of being here for a while then disappearing, you know. But it is what it is, and we're just gonna continue to grow. We're gonna be at 20K before, you know, summer, and we're just gonna continue to get shit popping. So Anna, if you need a way to contact me, join the Discord. Everybody else, you want to be a part of the community, join the Discord. I love you guys. I'm going to get these videos re-recorded today the right way, so this next day or two I can do longer streams until about 1 or 2. But I really need to start getting my other content game up, so that's why I'm ending these streams a little bit early, because I got to produce other content, right? We're partnered with YouTube. We got to get videos out there, so I got to work harder. And sometimes it's going to be at the detriment of how long the streams are. But today we went till 12. It was a 2.5-hour stream. We did good. So, yeah, we're going to... Hold on, honey, stay right here. We're going to run it up. And, yeah. It's free to join, Anna. It's free to join. But, yeah, I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Keep it real. Stay educated. And stay a part of the family, man. Make sure you guys have that notification bell hit. Make sure you're subbed up. so I can see you in the next stream. Make sure you join the Discord. You know, be a part of the community. I love to see it. So God bless you guys. I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the Discord. Everything else. Other than that, it was a pretty good stream today. Appreciate you guys. We're working on getting back in the algorithm. I was off for a week. Obviously that's going to hurt my channel a little bit, but my kids come first, and I love the time I can spend with them. You know, it's time you can never get back. So, yeah, I will be back on tomorrow, hopefully for longer, hopefully today. Oh, I'll say hi for sure. I'm going to definitely be watching Candace's stream. We're going to react to it. So maybe I'll get on later tonight. We can react to her stream or something, and we can chill like that too. But, yeah, I'm very interested to see what she's going to say when she gets back. We're going to be on there. I'm going to react to it. We're going to get this shit done. So much love to you guys. Much love. I will see you guys later. Oh, good job. I'm going to go spend some time with her and then record these videos. So be watching out for the videos I drop too, guys. Make sure you support them. Love y'all. See you guys in a little bit. See you later, Skippy, Stacy, Anna, Jennifer. See you guys in the Candace stream. We'll also be reacting to it.